Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to Jetwave, episode 3. This is year 2, episode 3 of Jetwave, the interview show that I once said would be semi-regular, and I have achieved that, and I see that as a success. You have to count your successes. You define success differently. And so that is how I'm choosing to define it. But welcome in, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you're having an excellent Friday. We're Flannel Friday friends today. Love it. I hope you guys are all having an excellent day. Thank you for all the people who have been here. GBC, thank you for resubscribing as well. And everyone just for being here. I really appreciate it. Today's stream, is a little bit different than what we normally do. In the case you're unaware, if you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, this is an interview show where I invite a streamer or creator or somebody that I really enjoy, and we get to have them here. We interview them. I get to just kind of chat with them for a bit. We answer questions. They answer questions, and then we do something. Most of the time it's been like a game. Today, like a video game. Today might be something else. I guess you'll have to stick around and see. But, so we're gonna move into the interview here in just a second. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. So while we are kind of doing our normal chat interview thing, we may not be super aware of the chat. Just cause imagine we're in a coffee shop, you're also in the coffee shop, and we're at one table and you're at the other table and you're listening in. It's like that kind of. But then once we get to the Q&A, we pull the table over and it's like you guys are there. And we get to answer the questions that have already been submitted. However, let's say you missed submitting a question, you're like, oh, but Nick said something super cool, and now I need to ask him a thing. Well, one thing that you can do to help is if you start your chat with Nick, NIC, QA. I can find it later. So we're gonna go through the ones that have been submitted first, and then if we have some extra time, we will look at the ones that have been added in the chat. There'll be a regular message from me that's timed so that you'll see, it'll remind you, if you have a question, type in first, Nick QA. Is capitalization important? I don't think so. Pretty sure it's not. But anyway, that is the plan for today. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. We're going to, soon, in just 1 second, we're going to bring our guest on. But first, let me introduce him fully and get you guys all rallied together. So most of you all, I would imagine, either have been to a MisterSputnic stream or have heard me talk about a MisterSputnic stream. Because I feel like, and really, if you've only done the second, then I don't even know. I've given you guys so many opportunities to be in a MisterSputnic stream, and I'm trying to do you a favor, okay? Help me help you. So Nick is an excellent streamer, content creator, who I think most of you all probably know has a very unique stream, has a lot of different channel points, has a different quality of stream than a lot of people you might come across. I think you would also hear from a lot of other streamers that he's somebody who has inspired them or given them a different bar, to meet in different ways. And so I'm very excited to be able to chat with Nick today, and I hope you guys are excited for all of this as well. It's gonna be a super fun time. So without further ado, let me welcome in MisterSputnic! You're here.
Hey, I'm here! What's up, chat? What's up, JPP? Jet!
Nick!
Thanks for having me on Jetwave.
Of course.
What's the adjective you keep using for the show? The
Semi-regular?
the semi-regular. So successful about that part, by the way. It is very semi-regular.
I have made it a goal and I've met it, and it's
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
So
I
proud.
knew I said initially, I was like, I just don't want it to be like, the main thing. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's always doing interviews now.
Oh, it's Jetwave again. Yeah. Keep them on their toes a little bit. Surprise them.
Exactly. So now I have comfortably settled in for about 2 episodes a year. So...
Well, I think I actually have a theory that I was always going to be the next episode, but you were just waiting until I got past the awkward stage in the hair growth maneuver. I think maybe I'm still in the awkward stage, but there was a time when I don't want that interview to be permanent. You know what I'm saying?
Not in the least bit. Though I will say that since the inception of the Jetwave, I was like, I want Nick to be on the show.
That's kind.
But I didn't. I was like, you can't be first because I need to I need to have it all set up. I need to make sure it's smoothed over.
Roll out the red carpet, if you will.
Exactly. I needed to kind of get it all settled in, and I think I have for the most part. So it at least all seems to work. We've changed some things since last time, but
it looks incredible. It's really cool looking.
Thank you. It could, you know what? It could be better, but this is where we're at now.
Yeah, it's because you're a streamer. You're always gonna say that. That's your entire life. Is could have been better. Not perfect. Not good enough.
That's 100% fair. But I sort of figured. I think I was like, oh, surely 2 years in we'll be like good now. And so even though it's only been 2 episodes previous, you're in year 2. I feel like we've had enough warming up.
Yeah.
So
of course.
Right. So Nick, before we get into all of it, how are you doing? How's your day going?
Well, I'm doing really well. I'm doing super good. I had lunch. I had a leftover Power Bowl that we made the other night. I've hung out with Megan a little bit. I've gotten a lot of work done for stream because you know that most of the work that we do is off the camera anyways. So we've been doing a lot of work today. But good. I'm feeling good. I'm jazzed. I'm ready. I'm excited to be talking to you. You know, I'm a founder in your chat. I'm a huge fan.
You are.
I'm a merch owner and JPP respecter.
Oh my gosh.
One day I'm gonna come to Alaska and get you to sign this, man. I can't wait.
Oh goodness. I would love to. I would love for that to happen.
It's really a pleasure that you invited me on. I'm excited.
Good. I'm glad you feel so. All right. So Nick, starting us off, take us to the beginning. Take us to the very, very beginning. I would like to know, before streaming, before everything, kind of what was your introduction into nerd stuff, like video games, board games, all that kind of stuff. What's it been so far?
I've got you. There's a picture of me as a 4-year-old butt naked sitting on the carpet with a Nintendo controller. The only thing that's there covered me up was a Nintendo controller playing Legend of Zelda or Donkey Kong or whatever. So nerd stuff was introduced fairly early from Nerd Dad and Nerd Brother. And then we inducted Nerd Sister. And you know, my mom kills it at Donkey Kong Country as well. So we got nerd family. I played Halo all the way up through Halo 3 with my dad all the time. I played Super Smash Brothers all the time with my dad and my brother. We're just a nerd family. We're just nerd people. It's what we do. We nerd out. We play Age of Empires together. We do it all.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We on our old monitors, on our old computers, we would IP address host the first multiplayer that was available on the Age of Empires games, and we would connect to each other in the house and go off.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What was your first video game memory?
My first video game memory would probably be Aladdin. I don't know if there was an Aladdin video game on SNES, I think. Devilishly hard, insanely hard. But once you got past certain levels, back then when they made games, they had like what 3 megabytes tops to work with or something to create the video game, right? So they had to make them stupid hard so that you got your money's worth of playtime out of it. That was the whole model of the thing. So they had these things called passwords. So if you beat the level, it would show you a password, and it would be like Abu, Jafar, Jasmine, Genie. And if you type that password in, you'll go to the next level, but there's no saving. There's no loading. You just had to know the password. So if you knew the password, you had the right to skip to the next level or whatever. And my first memory is probably me looking back or currently writing in a notepad, like drawing Genie, Jafar, Abu, or whatever those little passwords were. Those are probably my first video game memories.
I love that. Actually, I think I played that game, and I can vividly envision the codes that you're talking about. Now, in terms of streaming, there surely gaming is a part of it, and other stuff like that. But there is an entertainment portion of it where there's like an entertainer personality that usually comes out of that. Where did that originate for you? Because I think one of the things that people will usually notice when they come into your stream is just how like charismatic you are, and like it definitely feels like you're entertaining the people that are in your chat and that are coming in. So like, did you have like a part of your childhood or anything where that entertainment desire, entertaining people, kind of like sparked?
Yes. So we weren't just nerd family. We were also theater family. We were a couple of different families. We were also football family. Those were like if we had to pick 3 things to describe my family, it's those 3, right? We played games. We hung out with each other. But also my older brother Blake had the Blake Show, and I had the Nick Show, and we grew up in a podunk backwater town in Oklahoma with not a lot to do. So what your parents do when there's nothing else to do is they just sit around and hang out with their kids, and we would put on performances. We'd jump on the brick mantle of our fireplace or whatever, and with our microphone, largely the performances were just us saying introducing, and then we would just introduce each other over and over again or something. But we got used to the stage. We got used to the limelight. I'm an extroverted guy. I like being center of attention. I like being on stage. I sang my whole career in school. I was in plays and musicals and all of it. As long as I was in school, I was doing that.
What plays and musicals were you in?
I was in The Sound of Music 3 times. I was in Tom Sawyer twice. I was Tom Sawyer both times. I've been in Lead. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, Lead.
Who were you in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
I was I don't recall his name. I think it's Max or something. The guy who He's a big nerd in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's the guy who plays video games all the time, and it was like a bad thing. His Oompa Loompa song was like, "Don't play video games" or whatever. I don't remember his name anymore, but I was him.
He wasn't in the movie, was he?
I guarantee you he was. He was one of the main kids. So there's like
the
Violet.
guy who falls into the chocolate river?
No, that's Augustus. I know Augustus's name, but then there's one where they do Wonka Vision. It's the Wonka Vision scene. Where they put a bar of chocolate in this TV, and then they transfer it over airwaves or whatever, and it lands over there, and he's like, "That's so cool, I want to be teleported," or whatever, and then it goes wrong. I don't remember his name anymore, but that's what I did. I mean, I was in a ton of shows.
Okay, that's awesome. What was your favorite?
I love being on stage. My favorite was probably Wizard of Oz, because I wasn't a lead. I don't think I even had a speaking role. But I had 5 costume changes, and I was on scene as 5 different things depending on the time. I was either a munchkin rolling around on this little cart with a big like dress on, or I would go back and then I would costume change. I had people out there just switching me through my costumes. Became a crow for the Scarecrow song, or I was a snowman for the Snowman and Poppy dance or whatever. I was one of those green guards.
Yeah.
I changed costumes 5 times throughout, and it was just such a rush. Every performance was so fun.
That is super fun. So then that definitely evolved. Did you do theater in college also, or did you stop in high school?
Yeah, I didn't touch it in college at all. Yeah, in college I was just focused on social life and school. That was it.
Dang.
Yeah. I didn't really have any extracurricular. I guess I played a little bit of lacrosse and a little like intramural volleyball or whatever, but
You played lacrosse?
Yeah, I was also on football and lacrosse team. I was a busy dude.
Varsity lacrosse player in the chat right now. That's awesome. I actually could not tell you the first thing about lacrosse.
It's my favorite sport. It's the least fun to watch, but it's my favorite sport to play.
Interesting. That's the flat bat, right?
No. You're thinking of cricket. There's no
That's
bat
right,
in lacrosse.
right.
Lacrosse is like field hockey. Except for yes, I'm absorbing this very well. Yes, speak to me more about lacrosse. You have a big pole with a net on the end. You throw the balls at each other. It's like soccer field style.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna say yeah. I know
Yeah. For sure. You got it. 100p.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, how did you eventually, like, when did you hear about Twitch? When was your first little?
Oh man, I know that my account was created in like 2014 or 2015, maybe earlier. If you type /user MisterSputnic, you can find my account age in your chat, since you have like moderation powers. It's not coming to me exactly when, but I got into Twitch, and the first like real memories I have of being like a Twitch addict, because way before I was a streamer, I was just a viewer. I was an addict. All I did was watch Twitch.
Oh, really?
I was.
Who were you watching?
It was one of two things. I was either watching Legend of Zelda speedruns, or I was watching awesome League of Legends players.
Interesting.
Right? Because there's like three. I've always said that there's like three different types of streamers where you can succeed. And one of them is to be extraordinarily skillful at the thing that you're doing. Like the people I were watching were boring and flat, and they did not care at all, but they still had 6, 7, 10,000 viewers because they were the best at what they did, and we were there to learn and be amazed at the things that they could do. I have the same video game, but I could never do that type of thing. So that's a lot of what I watched, or I went and watched someone be amazing at, Legend of Zelda speedruns. I was into the people who are the best of their craft type. I didn't get into the small streams until later.
So then, and I checked, it says that you started your account in 2012.
2012. That's the year I started playing League of Legends. So that kind of.
I think that is also the year I started playing.
Season 2, baby. Let's go.
Wait, 2012? Yeah, it must have been.
It's been a decade since I first started playing that toxic game. An awful game that I love so much. It's so good.
I'm really sad I missed your message in your Discord that you were playing the other day. I would have totally joined you.
It was late. Well, it was late for us, maybe not for you, but yeah.
Right.
That's partly my fault too, is because I used to have this thing in my Discord where you could select which games you want to be pinged for if we want to do group games or whatever. And I just haven't had that in my Discord for a long time, but a lot of people still have the old roles, like the @League, @Apex thing.
Yeah.
I need to update that.
I think I started when Lysandra was on the login screen.
Yeah,
I think I remember
that was not very far behind me at all. Because that's like Zach, Thresh, Lysandra, they were all around the same time.
That's season 2?
No, that was not season 2.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
no, that was season 3 or 4, I think. But I'm not sure when. I think it was season 3.
That still seems like way too early.
Yeah.
But I guess it's been a decade.
Yeah.
So eventually, I assume you transitioned from at least just being a watcher to then maybe being interested in streaming. What got you to that point? Was there anything special in between there and the start?
So when I first started streaming on Sputnik, I did not have a plan to be a streamer or a creator or anything like that in the long run. I was texting this beautiful, interesting woman who lived very, very far away from me. And it was the kind of texting where it was like, that's what you did? Like, in all of your downtime? It was that interesting, lovey-dovey texting. And her name is Lurkat26 in chat, if you know her. But but I was like, you see all the memes that's like, if your boyfriend pauses Call of Duty to text you back, he really loves you and stuff like that. Like if you're gaming, you're not texting that way anymore. And it was like an active text message conversation always. But I'd just be like, I'm trying to play Dark Souls right now. So how could I still like maintain that thread of connection to my person? But also not like let them down, but also I get to my fix on Dark Souls, so I streamed it. I was like, have you heard of Twitch? And I streamed it from my Xbox, no face cam, just my mic and my headset, and I played Dark Souls so that I could game and still talk to Megan.
What? That's adorable.
That's how it first started.
That is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, she's follower 1? Probably. I mean,
it was on like another
early.
account, and then you know, time passes. We've only been dating for 3 years, but I started my my Twitch account like 6 or 7 years ago. I wasn't even affiliated at the time. You know, I just threw up a Dark Souls stream. You don't even save those VODs. It's not even possible, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's a long time ago. But then time passes. We grow apart. We grow back together. She has a new account now. She's Lurkat26. Back then she was Mayfin13. Completely different person. So that would have been like follower 1.
Who even is that?
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Dang, that's honestly so adorable.
It's kind of a cute story, right?
It is. It really is.
But around like 2019 is when I was like, hey, streaming could be cool, and I think maybe I could do it. Because my brother was spending a lot of time. He was like pursuing his a degree. He was in school. He was in Colorado at the time, and he was streaming him playing Fortnite. And we were on this Minecraft server where everybody knows each other, and then the Minecrafters would hop into chat and be like, what's up, let's play Fortnite or whatever. So we instantly had like this nest egg of like 10 viewers, which if you've ever tried to start streaming on Twitch from 0, that's a huge boost, right? Like getting to 10 viewership is, off the bat is insane. People don't understand the sheer grind from 0. It's insanity. But he just started with 10, and he started like growing in the Fortnite category, and I was like, that's cool. And then I was like featured on his streams playing Fortnite with him, and then one day he was like, I'm having a kid, I don't want to stream anymore, go follow my brother, he's a streamer now. And I was like, oh, I'm a streamer now. I guess that's true. And then like he just like logged into my account and /modded all of his mods to my account and started like pointing people my way instead. And I was like, I guess I'm doing this. So I just had this nest egg of like 15-ish viewers and started playing games.
That is one of the most unique and cool streamer starting stories I think I've ever heard. But that is awesome.
I'm embarrassed of it a little bit, but I'm glad you think it's
no,
cool.
There's no way. But no, you're right. The grind from 0 would be
it's crushing. Yeah. It's tough.
Yes.
It's different.
It is.
It's completely different. Like if you're in my chat at all, you probably know Pear, you probably know Otaku, you probably know Llama. Those 3 are mods on my channel. Some of them have been since the beginning. And they're all just because we used to play a lot of Minecraft. Like I'd spend all day playing Minecraft on this server. And so you meet people. And then you become friends, and they stick around, and then they're your mods for your Twitch. Now you're hanging out all the time. You're in voice all the time. You're planning to what's next all of a sudden. And it's just online relationships are just really real. And cool and awesome and unique. And I'm very happy to have like the friends that I've made along the way and the support I've gained along the way and the community that's come from it all is just, it's also serendipitous and like chaos theory-ish and like a beat of a butterfly wing type of thing.
Right, yeah, totally.
But you just, you know, because I logged into that Minecraft server one day and I really liked it and then I gave my life to it. You know, I met Special Llama. Special Llama becomes one of my mods for my Twitch channel. We go and stream on Twitch for a long time. We become really, really close friends. She meets one of my friends from college. Now they moved in together and they live together in California. Yeah. What? That's when you trace it all back, it's like no, never in a million years should that have ever happened. But the internet's just sick like that.
It is, and it's so interesting how just like how real those relationships are and if you've never experienced it, it's those friendships become very real friends and
and it seems like easily dismissible sometimes, especially by an older crowd or a more offline crowd. But it's like, nope. Nope, those people are really important to me actually. So, I don't know what to tell you or how to explain it, but I guess we don't see eye to eye on that or whatever.
Yeah, totally. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't understand how those connections can happen, but I feel like, I mean, I and I'm sure a lot of people here could probably relate to, I love, even friendships that are in person, I love establishing them on like media stuff. Like, so maybe I'll like share movies with my friends that I really love, or I'll invite them to play Super Smash Brothers or something like that. And I feel like the same thing is basically happening through Twitch or through Discord communities or whatever. It's just expanding and growing from there.
It's
so
the
it
exact
totally
same
makes
thing.
sense. Yeah, totally. It's funny that you mentioned like, well, we were talking about the grind earlier, sort of like the grind starting from zero, but you know, I think a lot of people talk about the grind of streaming, and one of the things that I think about, this popped into my head when you mentioned the butterfly effect or whatever, is just I've kind of thought that maybe the grind is really like you're almost just grinding luck, sort of. Like a lot of people would say you're grinding time, or I don't really know how other people would quantify it, but I'm sort of like you're kind of grinding luck.
Quantifiable things for sure, like your skill and your comfort on camera, your ability to reach out and stuff. After you get that down, you're just trying to give luck every way it can to get to you.
Absolutely, because I think it's, you know, some of the times I'll think about like, man, you know, if I wasn't streaming on this day, or if I wasn't streaming this certain game, this person would have never popped in, and now they're like a staple in the community. Or, you know, and that's just like, that's not something that you can fully plan for. That's not something that you can anticipate in any way.
No, it's crazy, right? The whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's just like, you know, you end up playing somebody's favorite game and they're just like, oh, I'm actually going to stick around now.
Yeah, I'm going to watch you play my favorite game.
Yeah, and it could just be like, I think about it sometimes, I'm like, a lot of the people who've been involved in the community, you know, it's likely they would have never joined if that one day they were busy, or that, you know, they had work that day or whatever. It would just be a completely different situation. So part of me is like, it's kind of luck based. So I don't know. It's just very interesting how that all kind of like comes together, and then the communities grow. But I try to, there's a lot that as a streamer you can control. But there's also a lot that I feel like you cannot. It's just like
way more.
You just have to make yourself available. That's kind of what I've
doing all you can to make sure that luck has every chance to get people over to you, right? To pick the right categories, maybe that where you're closer to the top. So when someone does search up Paper Mario 1000-Year Door, you're one of the first things that appear on the page. Then maybe the luck comes your way and they actually click your name instead of somebody else's. And then what do you know? They're someone who you just vibe with completely. They join the Discord. They're your best friends in like 6 months or whatever. And now you guys are just super close. It's wild. Or something that is like sort of like taboo-ish to talk about as a streamer, but whenever it's like your job and your income, finding the people who do have the financial flexibility and wherewithal and ability to give subs, boost the community, boost the stream, and make sure that you get paid for your work. It's just like so random that you find that person, right? Because that's even rarer, right? And then just finding a way to make this into a living and a life and a way to go forward, navigating sponsorships and all of it is so difficult. But then randomly you just find the coolest people ever, and the journey is so worth it, and all the work just pays off. And yeah, you're grinding time and luck for a lot of it, but you have to do everything you can, and this is something that I need to do more of. I need to have a bigger presence on Twitter so that people could have a chance to find me through there, because Twitch, you've heard it a million times, is not discoverable. A bigger presence on TikTok and Instagram or whatever other social medias. That's something I'm really excited to start doing more of. I posted my first TikTok today. It's just a clip from my stream that I thought was funny.
Ooh.
But see, we're always going next.
Plug the link. Plug the account.
MisterSputnic on TikTok is the same account. But that's just an extension of what you said, of luck, right? It's like, I hope the algorithm picks this up. I hope this gets the right eyes. I hope some people click through to my bio and then follow me. I hope that allows me to one day post my link in my TikTok account so that they can get to my Twitch, etc., etc., etc.
Absolutely. So you so you started. Your brother sort of helped push you in that direction. What was it if going back? What was it like for you during the beginning stages? Like
During
what
the dark
what
age.
was the dark age?
It was bad.
Some of those older clips, are those from like that time that pop up on your channel? Okay.
Yes. I don't
What
know
was
if this
that
is a
like?
smart thing, and I don't advise people to follow me in my footsteps here. I've never deleted a clip from my channel, ever. Which I think is a bad thing, because I've heard you talk about Clippy and how it always picks the most embarrassing things ever, or the most boring, or the most like low key whatever things ever. That happens to me all the time with Clippy, because I've been on the platform for a really long time, and I have some clips of me with a Xbox 360 mic, with like 5 friends in the room, streaming off of my Xbox Connect, playing a motocross game or something, just passing the time, but it got clipped or something. Or back when I first started streaming pretty consistently, I had my laptop. The battery had exploded out of that laptop, so it only ran if it was plugged in. So I have my laptop plugged in. I'm sitting at a built-in desk with built-in shelves above it in my bedroom, my bedroom from my house. I'd moved back in with my parents. It's a weird, sad time. I took a lamp. I took the lampshade off the lamp and I put it in the shelves above me sideways so that I had a light on my face. I had another lamp that was for seasonal affective depression disorder or whatever, that just shines really bright light on you to like stimulate the summertime or whatever. Yeah. That was on a 30-minute timer, so every 30 minutes it would go pop, and I'd have to click and turn it back on. I had my built-in laptop camera, but even with my battery taken out of my laptop, even with it running on like directly AC power, it's still overheating. So I had a bunch of manga that my sister left behind when she went to college. I stuck it up like on the left and right as 2 little pillars where the fans could have air in the middle. And this was my stream. And behind me, I had hung up a turquoise sheet that I was trying to use as a green screen. It's a rough time. It was really rough.
But I feel like it was maybe humble beginnings, but it certainly laid a good foundation for what was to come.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was like the hardest part back then for you?
Well, the hardest part was, I think one of the reasons that my brother was like, hey, you're streamer now. You're streaming. Take up my mantle, my legacy, my 15 viewer average, whatever. I think a lot of it was because he saw that I was in like a sad-ish time for sure in life in general. And I think a lot of people come to find online community when they're sad. I think you'll find that a lot of people that come to Twitch are looking for connection and friendship and some social interaction. Maybe they're isolated. I was definitely isolated at the time.
Totally.
And I think my brother saw that and he was like, here's something for you to do that involves talking to other people and like taking a shower once in a while, because I was just a sad boy. So my biggest struggle back then, and in some ways remains my biggest struggle now, was consistency and drive. Because some days, I mean, when there's something that I've gotten over, something that's gone away since the beginning, was like fear of the camera, and fear of messing up, and fear of trolls, or fear of people not liking me or something. That's all gone. I've gotten rid of all that by now. It's been years, right? I'm over it. Someone comes in and hates on me, I say ha and move on, right? And if something's wrong with my stream, the only thing that can be wrong with it is something I don't like about it, and I will change it because I'm in charge, right? Or whatever. But back then I would constantly have viewers telling me what games to play, what songs to play, what I should or should not be doing, and that affected me a lot, and kind of drove me out of like a creator headspace and more of like a dance monkey dance headspace, which I did not like. But I've totally removed that from my community completely, whether it's through like the tone of the community or just outright getting rid of problem people. And then also my confidence has grown over time. So.
This is maybe more of a question for like even how you handle things currently, but I know a lot of streamers are kind of afraid of banning people, like especially people who have like way low viewership. It can be kind of a scary thing, terrifying, especially if they're somebody who is maybe the most vocal,
right.
How do you personally navigate, when should someone be banned? How do you navigate that?
I actually don't end up doing a lot of banning anymore, at all. I have a lot of advice about banning, and not everyone's going to take my same approach with like dealing with problematic community members, right? But mine is usually just to vocally call them out while I'm live. If someone is making a problem, is just to like address it really shortly and be like, oh, we don't actually make those jokes here ever, and then go back to whatever it is that you were doing. If they continue to do it, like my rule, I watched this. I stole this rule from another streamer. I watched this streamer. All he does is stream. He has a beautiful, deep, bassy radio host voice, and all he does is stream just chatting from his couch and do really political talks. I've unfollowed the guy. I don't remember what he's from, but he's also extremely obese. He's a very large person, so people would come in and just be horrible to him. The first message usually, and then he would say it. He'd have to say it so often because the internet is so horrible, but he would have to say so often, everybody gets one. Do it again, you're out of here. And I saw by being in his chat that by being like accepting, but also shaming, and being like, what do you think you're doing? And what do you think you're achieving? Everyone gets one. I'm not going to instantly ban you, but I should. But 25% of them would just chill out after that. And they would just be like, oh shit, that's a human over there on the other side of the screen. That's a person. And hello and hi, and I'm sorry. And let's talk. That was really cool. But the other 75% would either bounce from the stream in shame, or say it again, and he'd be like, well, I guess you were warned. And it just slid off his back. Slid off his back. So he's the most resilient person I've ever seen in my entire life on the internet. And I was just like, that's cool. That's really neat. I know a lot of people who just like, as soon as the infraction is done, you're banned. I don't care. You're one in a 14 million viewers that are logged in today. Goodbye. That's totally fine. That's totally acceptable, right? I have like the fortitude now, built up now, but we just talked about how I didn't in the past, right? Yeah. So there was a time when I wish I could go back and talk to me a couple years back and just be like, hey man, you have 5 viewers in your chat today, and one of them is just bringing the vibe down, being awful, bouncing potential new viewership, ruining the community vibe, ruining the feel. People are bouncing from the stream or whatever. I would say, hey, don't look at that as 20% of your viewership getting banned because you have 5 viewers right now, because it feels terrible to go down to 4 if you're at 5. It feels wonderful to go up to 6 if you're at 5, right? But if you ban one of your 5 viewers, it's just like, I gotta work that back. I gotta make that back. And it was so hard to get up from 0, and however it feels. But just get rid of them instantly, because they're actually inhibiting your growth way more than you think.
Absolutely.
Just way more than you think.
Usually, I mean, I feel like we've all probably been in a similar situation where maybe you go into like a random person's stream, and maybe they have like one really active chatter, and perhaps it's somebody that like maybe this person makes the streamer uncomfortable. You're not really sure, because this is your first impression of the streamer and their community
and the vibe.
And sometimes that person, if they're the one who's like mostly talking and making maybe other people uncomfortable, that can sort of like, as a new person, I'm gonna assume that is your community, like that is your curated community,
right? Because it should be curated. That's a great word for it. It should be a reflection of yourself. And so if that's the community, bye, I guess.
Yeah, there have been so many times where I've popped in and just kind of watch and be like, ooh, okay, I don't think this is the right community for me.
Never mind, I don't fit
honestly,
here.
Honestly, it could have been like, that may have been that person's first day there,
Yeah. or that person's problem child that they're not willing to deal with. Or a lot of the time, I see a lot of streamers who are like, well, this person financially contributes to the stream pretty often, and so if I ban them, I'm literally reducing what I make off of streaming, off of my passion, off of my hobby that I want to turn into my job, into my career. I want to go to the moon with this, and I'm about to slice my profits by 20%. Yes, you are. You should. Absolutely. I say talk to them first if they're people who are important, but if they just got under your skin and it says first time chatter above there, bye. I also think I'm speaking from a position of privilege a little bit on the topic, because I have a really stellar mod team. I have an insanely good mod team, and I've another thing to say about mods that is sort of a reaction to what you were saying earlier. But my mods, like, you know, a bot pops in, they're banned. Someone comes in with the wrong attitude or vibe. If I don't address it first, they address it, and then they ban.
Yeah.
And they're just awesome, and I'm very lucky. Very, very lucky, because finding a good mod team is extraordinarily difficult. So one just fell into my lap and was delivered to me, and I'm just over the moon about it all the time. I'm very happy with my team. But another thing I was going to say is a lot of time whenever I do get bounced by community members from chats, I show up to someone's stream for the first time. I'm just vibing. I'm kind of seeing, you know, even me sometimes I'm like, when do I dip my toe into this conversation and say hi?
Yeah.
You know, but then a lot of the time the person who bounces me, the vibe that's wrong, has a green sword right next to their name. And that to me is so weird. It's so weird whenever like the problem person in your chat is just a moderator, because you know there's some sort of thing going on. I was like, oh, that's my friend from high school or something. I was like, there's some sort of social obligation. It's like, you got to fix that if you want to grow.
For sure.
Your community and the vibe is too important.
I think I've seen, so I don't participate in, but occasionally I will look at the Twitch subreddit. Which I do not recommend people do.
No. There's been one good post on the Twitch subreddit my entire time there.
It is kind of an odd, like, what's the word? Like a echo chamber. It's like a kind of an odd echo chamber of people there that I feel like the advice that's usually popping in there is usually not very good. But I feel like I have seen multiple times people talking about, like, you know, I have this mod who blah 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 is like being a bad community member, but like, you know, there is a social obligation there. Right. Somebody, it's like a personal friend or
my first viewer that I ever had or whatever. Yeah.
Or it's people who are like, I have modded every single person who has
I talk about that a lot.
Shown up
actually.
Twice.
Yeah. The mod badge is not a reward for coming to your stream. It's not like a cool reward or anything. It's a job. It's work. Shout it to the roof.
You want to have mods who reflect the community and can, like, you know, kind of exemplify either the values that you have, I think, or like what you expect from the community or want, you know, that kind of thing. It's a tricky thing. Actually, I remember asking you a super long time ago. I was like, well, when do you get mods? When should I make people mods?
It's a good question.
Because I think for the first year, I didn't have mods.
Right.
I waited like a super long time before I started adding any, because I was just like, well, I don't really know. Granted, I would say I think my community is generally really chill and very, like, you know, welcoming to people and kind of set the tone pretty well. And so I feel like people who come in who don't fit that usually know they
not
are in
the spot.
They're not in the right place.
They need to go Papega somewhere else.
Please make that a shirt or something. I need
Papega somewhere else. I really do feel like that. Just like, even without any work put in, that your chat is a reflection of you as a streamer, of you as a person, as a community leader. Right? You say that your vibe is chill. You don't need any moderators. People come and filter themselves out if they don't agree, right? People will stick to the things that they resonate with and vibe with. And so if it's a Papega chat, it's a Papega streamer. If it's a 5-head chat, it's a 5-head streamer. You know, it's they find each other. It's cool.
Totally.
And that's why my chat's so toxic.
Oh my gosh, that's not true. I think that's the benefit that I've seen, like, that I've just thought about as people come in, filter in, and filter themselves out also, is that I'm sort of like, there are so many streamers out there, like, you'll find somebody that you enjoy watching.
Yeah. Don't feel bad about getting rid of somebody. There's 3 million other options that went live this month. They're good. They'll find somebody.
Yeah. 100%. So you mentioned initially being a little camera shy and all that sort of stuff. What got you to the point of being comfortable on the camera? Was it anything specific?
Practice. I don't think that there was a day or a moment or a thing where I was like, I got this now. And I don't think it's necessarily tied to the fact that I was like down about life at that time at all. It was just a little bit of camera shyness. And it's not like, oh, you know, I hate how I look or anything. It's just like, okay, I'm going to put this on the internet and people are going to see it. Does this look stupid? Should I wear this other shirt? Like trying way too hard on all that stuff. For what, an average viewership of 8 or whatever in my parents' spare bedroom. You know, it's just crazy looking back on it. I should have just been myself and been confident. But you practice that. You practice that, and you can learn to be confident on camera. And I did.
When did you start to feel like the stream had become your own?
So yeah, that was sort of a thing for sure. Kind of inherited viewership and moderation and all of that from my brother.
Yeah.
So a lot of those guys were also my friends.
Right.
You know, so it wasn't like a bunch of randoms or anything.
Sure.
But I dove pretty much headfirst into OBS mastery, like as fast as I could. Even on my old laptop, even on an overheating, no battery, loud, hot machine, I was trying to learn and push boundaries and do what I can. We can do so much more in OBS now than we could ever do before, by the way. It has gotten so much better. Back when I first started streaming, I got affiliate like as quickly as you can get it, right? Because I had that infusion of viewership. And then I had my one emote slot. And then I would open Streamlabs OBS, and, you know, you could do what you could do 5 years ago on Streamlabs OBS or whatever, or 3 years ago on Streamlabs OBS. Completely different game, but I dove headfirst into downloading all these little visual packs, and I had my first thing you do, right, is you Google Twitch overlay, and you get your new follower rotating feed, and you get your latest bidder rotating feed. It's like, my brother in Christ, you're not even affiliated yet. Take latest bidder off of your overlay, and it's all retro, and it's all green and purple and loud, and you think it's so interesting. And on your starting soon screen, maybe what I did was I had a filter that would make my, because I was already green screened out, so I would just make me completely void, and then have like a star gif that played through my outline and stuff. As I was getting stuff ready, I looked like a cool little star man, and I was just like, I love this. This is me. This is mine.
That's incredible.
But I never, like, even though it was mine, I didn't feel like I had to grow into it as much. Maybe there's so much you have to learn to do this right. There's so many facets of study that you have to do. You have to learn audio. You have to learn about microphones. I have an XLR microphone plugged into my mixer, which has a built-in hardware compressor that goes into my computer, which then I overlay an equalizer, a compressor, a limiter, a expander onto. I didn't know what any of that was. I still don't know what a lot of that is. But I know how to use it now. But it's just like, when you're first starting out on the website, it's just like, oh my God, so many questions. I probably look not as good as I could. I probably have the wrong settings on. I don't know what my bitrate should be. What can my computer even handle? Can I even play games on this dingy old laptop? How do I sound? Do I sound awful? When do I mod people? If there's too many mods, do I need no mods? It's just all questions.
100%. How did you start to develop then all of that? Because you're right, there is a lot to start, because there's your physical equipment, there's the software, there's the presence of being on camera, there's so many different things, and then had
all the skills, the little graphic designer skills you have to have, the little entertainment skills, the reading chat skill. That is a skill, by the way. It's very stressful when you first start out. People will disrespect that take, but it is very stressful to read chat while you're playing a game when you first start. But there's a million things you have to learn. But yeah, to sort of dig myself out of that and try and start. I wonder who my first... you know what? I think it was probably, like so many others, I think it was a bunch of Harris Heller videos. It was all nice, YouTube. Yeah. I went to the school of YouTube streaming, and I learned whatever I could, right? How to grow your viewership from 0 to 20 in 1 month. You know, how to have the perfect microphone setup, the stuff that you just do on YouTube, and the stuff that I'm probably looking to create on YouTube very soon. Because I think that I got the chops, and I think I know a lot about at least the hardware and Twitch and Meta and all of that stuff. So I'm thinking maybe I could turn around and maybe help some other people learn, because I've watched and learned and absorbed so much, and I have a lot of my own opinions on things too.
I think you'd be so good at that. You would be so good at that, Nick.
Thanks.
I feel like, so when I started, I had actually not really been on Twitch very much. I was watching Twitch VODs on YouTube.
Right.
And so
was it
I
leaked?
really
You can be honest.
No, it wasn't leaked. It was no. It was actually a Dex bonus. It was all of her content. Yeah. So I was watching that, and it's very funny now because I think when I started, I was like, what is Pog? Like
that's real though.
Right. It took me a while to realize just how much of a culture Twitch is in and of itself, and how I think, though, I feel like I've now seen it, and maybe it's a I forget what that's called, the Streisand effect, maybe, where it's like, now that you know a word, you start seeing that word like in other places as well. I don't know if that's what it is now that I've learned a lot more of Twitch culture, that I see it expanding on Reddit or on Twitter or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like now I see it a lot more prevalent. But
I mean, kids are growing up with that culture now, right? Like if you're a nerdy kid, whenever I was growing up, you played Aladdin on the SNES. When you're a nerdy kid growing up now, you're pogging out of your mind at some Twitch stream, right? It's built in. So it has become more ubiquitous, but there was a time when us boomer butts had to go and learn what is like knowyourmeme.net or whatever. What's going on this website?
No, 100%. And yeah, I remember watching like YouTube videos and trying to get anything, but what was I think for me, I had started off like I had actually, like, when I started, I had a very good concept of I know what I want my channel to look like.
Cool.
From like a visual standpoint, or like how I want to interact with people. I kind of know how I would like to do that. But it was then learning about like the whole culture of like rating or interacting with other streamers even, and
that still baffles me sometimes, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to elbow my way into another table at the Twitch lunchroom has been difficult.
100%. It can be tough. You have to have a lot of, like, I don't know. It's a skill, like we've been saying. These are skills that you have to sort of develop, and it's tough because, I mean, like, you can even prepare so much. Like, I feel like I had more of an idea of what I wanted my stream to look like than a lot of people do, but I feel like even then there was still so much that I just didn't know, whether it was technical things. I mean, my first streams were okay, I think, but like, you know, still lots of tech issues. We still have tech issues,
brother. I have an exclamation point scuff in my chat. I get it. We're scuffed. Part of the brand. Always innovating, always changing, so things are breaking. If you want to go watch someone who does the same thing every day, then they won't break probably. Go do that.
And it's so funny too that you mentioned like buying the overlays or whatever, because I remember like looking up like, okay, how do I make a thing? Like, I need to have the scrolling, like, you know.
I'm not a real Twitch streamer until I have the scrolling text. I have to put my gameplay in this corner and a huge border around it. And this is where I go. I have my own border. I have to put my name right there.
Right, it has to. You have to have something there. And I remember starting off, I thought there was sort of like a general overall style that everyone had. And so I was like, oh,
for sure at one point.
Well, that's probably true. And I would say like a lot of overlays that you can purchase tend to look generally the same if they're not if they're not like made specifically for you or whatever. But there was just so much that starting off I was like, I guess this is just what people do. Mm-hmm. But so we met early on in my streaming career.
It's crazy to think about that, because you were already very good at it. You're already very proficient at it. As far as from a viewer standpoint, I don't know how you felt, but I was just like, this guy gets it.
I think I have, because I also did theater stuff and like that sort of deal. I think I know how to present myself in like a I'm on camera or that kind of thing.
Sure.
It also helps that I grew up doing like photography and videography, so like I was comfortable being in front of
So jealous.
Right.
So jealous. Those are good skills to
like,
have in the industry.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay. But I think what I was getting to is that I think when I finally started going to your streams, I was like, oh, like there's
what I hope for. That's what I hope for all the time. I'm about to take it to a new heights, but yeah, that's what I hope for all the time.
I can't wait. Well, that's the thing, is that you always are adding new things and innovating new channel points or like goodness, like seeing all of the work that you put into user sound intros and welcome messages and playing not Dark Souls.
Don't bring that up. That was the worst ever idea.
No. It honestly was so entertaining though, but like when you were playing Elden Ring and it's like you have banned words, like it was very funny. I know that was torture for you. That was torture for you. But it was still like seeing like the couple times where you'd have to like then add a word and we could see what you're doing. The entire time I was just like, that is so like involved. Being able to do stuff like that is so involved and so I just think next level, because I think you seem to think outside the box in just adding more content to your stream that just makes it entertaining. I think for everybody, gets everyone involved, and I don't know, it's just super cool. So I think when I was able to watch your streams, it was like, okay, I see now that not only is there like opportunities to just grow in general, but there are ways that you can work your stream so that it is kind of a reflection of you, and even more so than just like how you're presenting yourself. Like it can be what channel points you have and all that sort of stuff. So I think once I saw your stream, I was like, okay, I need to add I need to get better.
I got some work to do. Wait a minute. I can express myself in crazy ways. Let's go.
And I know that I'm not the only person who has said that, because even just the other day when you rated Rhymes with
Rhymes.
Rage?
Yeah, Rhymes with Rage.
She said like right there, like when everyone was coming in, she was like, oh, MisterSputnic, blah 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 blah, like, and it was talking about your stream and how great it is and how like the quality of content is there and all that stuff. And so I was like, I know it's not just me. And I have heard other people say it as well. But
I got some big imposter syndrome on that front, but enough people have told me that A, whatever I was doing was directly inspiring them, or B, just like, whoa, I didn't know that was possible, how exciting it is. Or just hearing them talk to other people and just be like, his production quality is insane. I'm like, I don't like my production. I want to go further. I want to go harder. I want to go crazier. Yeah. But I'm starting to believe you guys. That's what I'm saying. I'm starting to believe it.
Working.
It's sinking in. I have put a lot of work, a lot of offline hours in on OBS. And the one thing I will say to everyone who gets excited whenever they see what I'm doing or what another big OBS nerd is doing or anything, is that it's an important way for me to express myself, and it's a lot of fun for me to do it. If it's not a lot of fun for you to do it, it's not like the only way to grow. It's not something you have to do. Some of my favorite streamers don't even have channel point redemptions turned on. It has nothing to do with interactivity. They are just purely entertaining as a entertainer and an audience, instead of this weird like in between that I'm trying to go for, where we're all a part of the entertainment. I'm trying to bring people in as much as possible. I'm trying to increase your buy-in. I'm trying to make you have more fun than other places. But that's because I know that I'm not 10 out of 10 comedian. I'm not a 10 out of 10 skill gamer. I'm not a 10 out of 10 entertainer or chatter. I'm good at a bunch of these things, but I the thing that I'm really good at is this weird back-end development stuff, and building this project or whatever.
Totally. No, and I think what you just said is very important, which is that you find that fun. And it's important that if you don't find that fun, like if that's not how you would enjoy your stream, then because if the alternative is if you try to pursue those things and that's just not either you or like not what you want to do at all, or you just
or you
feel
hate
like
doing it.
Yeah. It's going to come across that way to other people. It's also going to be, you're going to get burnt out, way easier. And I think there's such an important part of knowing what you find fun, even if it's not what you think is necessarily what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, I love playing indie games. That's like one of the types of games that I love streaming, but like streaming indie games is not like necessarily great for growth for the most part. There's
an easy ladder to climb for sure. Yeah.
Sure. There's some exceptions, like some breakthrough indie games, like probably I was gonna say Silence of the Lambs. Help me, Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb is probably like a standout though over the past year, but the thing is I've been thinking about this, is that indie games is just one of the ways that I have fun. I love and enjoy indie games. I love playing because they're so unique, and they usually do some cool stuff that AAA titles are not focused on, maybe.
Yeah.
Or they're just taking risks in these small little games, and so it's fun for me. And that makes me like enjoy my stream more.
Right.
And I think, as an extension, people who watch are like, oh,
that's the
really
rub.
having fun.
That's the rub right
like,
there. Is watching people have fun so much more fun than watching people do meta stuff that they hate or fake it or whatever. Watching people love their life on camera, way more fun. Right? Sometimes you're gonna go and take that viewership hit, that engagement hit, that monetary hit to make sure that you're having fun. There was a time when I was succeeding a lot in a certain game, but I was done with that game. And so it's like, I could keep going. It's a fun enough game or whatever. It's fun enough content, even if it's not a game. It's fun enough content that I'm going this direction. I'm burning out on it. I have to go do something else. And that'll cost you. But in the end, do what you love and do what makes you happy. Do what you have fun doing, and people will find you. And they will find, it's so interesting because if you just do, let's keep it to games, right? You pick a certain game. It's popping off for you. It's going great. Whatever. But you're not loving it. And then you transfer to a new game and your viewership gets sliced down to a third of what it was or whatever. Those people didn't follow you to the new game. Those people didn't vibe with you as a person to go watch you go play Minecraft next or whatever. They were vibing with the game more, and that's totally fine. There's tons of Twitch viewers out there who are just trying to watch certain games. No hate, no disrespect or anything. But I think people will latch onto you more and come with you game to game if you're loving it, if you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Build the core audience and bring them with you on your journey of whatever's next. And if they resonate with you as a person, you can go next. But climbing with variety is just extremely difficult because of that.
It
right?
is.
I wish there was I wish I was wired differently where I could just sit down and play one analytically perfect game for the rest of my life, but I can't do that. There's no chance.
Same, and there's also the running the risk of what you do when that game is no longer your breadwinner, if you will, or like when that game is no longer as popular anymore. Like, how do you navigate all that? Like that's another
comes with a lot
bridge
of fear
to cross when you get there. Streaming is a very volatile, like roller coaster.
Yeah.
True, also emotionally. But it's hard to know what's what you need to do next, what's gonna come next. But how would you, currently, what would you say is the hardest part of streaming for you nowadays, presently? Uh-oh. Do we have a frozen Nick? Uh-oh. Everybody, we have oh no. Maybe he's really thinking about it. That's the thing, is maybe he's really thinking about this question. He's really thinking about it though. And I appreciate it. Nick, There he is. There he is. What, Nick? Oh, how is your? Oh, Nick, are you there? Nick, I want you to think about this real fast. Oh, there he is. Did the internet die? What's happening?
No, we had a little. I think it'll come back to.
Okay,
now,
all right.
No,
I did say, I don't know if how well you can hear me, but
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. I just asked the question, what is the hardest part of streaming for you now? Now, is there a hardest part?
Hardest part now. One of the things that I struggle with, maybe more emotionally, with it, is that like streaming comes easy now. Turning on the camera comes easy now. Getting in front of an audience comes easy now. But no matter like how far you get, you're still in your head about numbers sometimes. Sure. So like, you see the guy with 9,000 viewers, when he drops down to 8,000, he's sad. But you're like, bro, you have 8,000 viewers. How could you be sad? You have 8,000 concurrent. On 1,000 people clicked off my stream or whatever. So for me, the probably the two things I'm struggling with is like how I feel like I've been on this platform for a long time. I've been streaming for a long time. I've taken huge breaks in the past that have definitely stunted my growth or whatever, but I feel like I've plateaued in this 20 to 40 viewer range for years. Like 2 years, probably. So I feel like I've in some ways I wake up and I'm like, if I hit my limit, is this how or entertaining I am? Is this just 20 to 40? I can't go further. I can't like go further. And so trying to break through that mindset, analytics, that number is really tough because I want to do right. I want to make this my thing.
Yeah.
I want to win. I want to be able to like create and entertain and have that be financially feasible. For now, it's just still not, which is rough. I'm probably gonna grab a job real soon because things just don't work that way all the time, and it makes you doubt. Probably think.
I think. Are you there? Hello. Oh, close up. This is. Hello.
Let's see if I have internet back on the computer. Okay, I think I'm connected to the internet on my computer again. Let me give it a shot.
Okay. We're
short
testing.
intermission.
We're gonna see. Perfect. Everybody, I want you to just imagine that tech issues don't exist for a second. And with that, hopefully we would be able to bring back MisterSputnic. I think if we all start a hype train on MisterSputnic's channel with him not being on, I think
on this channel.
No. It has to be on MisterSputnic's channel. If we start a hype train on MisterSputnic's channel with him not being live, his internet will probably come back. I have no way to monitor that if you guys are doing it, but I believe in you all and the ridiculousness of what that would be like. So, all I'm saying is maybe go over to twitch.tv/MisterSputnic and, Peter Pan it. It's so true. Yes. Is it happening? Is it happening?
5.
Oh my gosh, it's happening! Is the hype train started?
This is this. Cannot connect, but I'm still loading that I'm getting subs and stuff.
Wait, what?
Hello? Let me connect.
Hype train incoming! It's amazing!
Oh, you're back!
Wait,
It's you.
Is it back?
I'm switching to the computer. Be right back.
Okay. Guys, we did it. We did it. I said we started a hype train and it all came back. You guys are responsible for all of this happening. Incredible. Power flickered at the house. That is honestly incredible that you guys did that. Amazing. I love it. I cut a wire. Hey, he's back.
It worked. Thanks for the hype train.
I told you we would get it started. The hype train, it brought it. It was like the
Jet, it's
wheels
level
going on the
4.
tracks.
What did you do, bro?
Get it higher, everybody. Go higher.
I'm not even live, bro. That's not allowed. That's against the law.
Because it's not. I can do that because it's not my channel. So I can say.
Oh, I'm all over it.
Yeah. Everyone go over to MisterSputnic channel now and gift 5 subs. Everybody. Everybody go gift 5 subs.
Right after I was like, I don't know, man. Finances are the hardest part. Start a hype train. He's gatekeeping his content. He will not come back.
He purposefully cut the power just because. So you were saying hardest part, but now what is currently the most enjoyable part for streaming for you right now? Maybe if there's a couple of things, you don't have to choose just one, but I am curious to see now, looking back, what is the most enjoyable part for you right now?
I'm freaking out because the hype train hit level 5 right now. So that's enjoyable.
Dang.
Owner, that's literally all your fault. Azure, thanks for a total of 500 gift subs in the entire time we've known each other. That's ridiculous. He just hit 500.
Oh my goodness.
That's an insane amount of support. Jeez, Louise, I'm computing right now. Sorry, I'm computing.
Can you give us a like, you know?
Oh no, let me play it. I gotta play it so you hear it. Oh, it's not playing? Hello? Oh, we have to go to this scene.
Incredible. Oh, it's cutting the audio because it's too loud.
Because of Discord. Thank you, Discord, for ruining everything. Thank you, Discord.
But I could hear it. I could hear it in my head.
Insane amount of support coming through. Ridiculous. But it got the camera back on. It Peter Panned it, so we're back.
Yes. We are lost boys no more. we have come home.
So my favorite part of streaming currently, one, sharing the hobby with the love of my life is awesome. It's so awesome. Because so many people and so many content creators just don't get any like understanding, let alone sometimes respect from their family members, significant others, friends, about like this job and this journey and what we're doing. But Megan just streams now, and it's awesome. She takes long breaks, and yeah, whenever she like has a lot of work to do at the office, she's not streaming at all. But it's just so cool to have someone to talk to about it. Your significant other streams too. That's so cool. I'm very lucky. It's so fun. I'm very lucky. And I'm very proud of her. She's very good at it. She is just talented. So that's one of my favorite parts. Another one is just hanging out with everybody in Discord, and just like having a good time and sharing life and sharing progress and joking around and being dumb and watching movies and playing games and all that. I love that.
That's awesome. So, I feel like there's usually a lot of questions that people have when they're starting off, and I'm sure that you would probably address a lot of these when you're making hopefully for the soon to be series of Nick videos of Twitch tips. But what would your advice be just to somebody who is like, I'm considering streaming, but I really don't know if that's what I want to do? Like what would be your advice to the person who is at this point non-committal about it? They're just testing the waters.
My first thing that I would say always, Salty, thanks for 100, is my first thing
is it
always.
Still going?
It just went. It did not go since I talked about it, but then it went again. My first thing always is when people are like, I want to stream, I want to do this, I want to do that. If they say I wanna, then I say do it. That's just my answer to them. It's just okay. Go do it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. My second thing that I say to people all the time is they'll be like, I don't know if I want to, or if they seem generally interested but they're not expressing that they want to, I'll say, does it sound fun? Because please don't do it if it's not fun. Odds are stacked against you. If you're treating this as a career or a job, you need to have something comfy that you're sitting on, nest egg style, because you'll make very negligible money for a very, very long time. Most likely. I'm talking 99.9%. It's so funny, right? Because sometimes you and I look at our views, we're like, oh, we got 10 viewer average, we got 20 viewer average, we got 8 viewer average this month or whatever. Feels bad, feels low. Look at that guy, 20,000. Look at that guy, 500. Look at that guy, 2,000. And then you go over to twitchtracker.com or an adjacent website, and it'll tell you that your viewership and your follow rate and whatever all adds up to be top 1% of the platform. You are the top
Exactly.
1%. When we talk about the 99%, it's everyone who's struggling to get affiliates still. It's everyone who's doing their best to grind out of those zero ranges and just can't seem to. So to be top 1%, but still not have like the finances to call it a comfy like income all the time.
For sure.
It's the biggest risk. Is like, hey, make sure you're having fun. Make sure that you want to do this for fun. Make sure that this is a hobby. Please don't quit your job. All of those like classic things. If you want to stream for fun, please stream for fun. If you want to see where it goes, you can try really hard and have fun with it. When I'm offline working on OBS, I'm having so much fun. When I'm online and I'm streaming and I'm hanging out with everybody, I'm having so much fun. When I'm hanging out and learning about Discord roles and permissions and channels and the way I want it to look, it's fun. I do it because I love it. I do it because it's fun. And I hope that one day I treat it as a job, and I hope one day my job treats me as an employee. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But it's like it's so humbling to know that just with like what we've got going on, we're top 1%. But it's the top like 0.2% that are just insane with it. And
true.
I think a lot of people do have that misunderstanding because it's like, oh my god, I watch Ninja highlights on YouTube, or I watch Dex Bonus or something. I want to stream too. I want to be extraordinarily famous all of a sudden, and just make a ton of money all of a sudden. There's this weird idea that like I'll tell people, oh, I stream on Twitch. They'll say, what do you do? I'm not ashamed of it. I'll just be like, I'm a content creator. I stream on Twitch. Here's my handle if you want it. But it's either there's one of two reactions. It's either like, oh man, that money's good, and I'm like, what? No, you're doing fine over there. Or it's the other reaction, which is like, oh, you've got nothing else going for you, so you just stay in your room and play games all day.
Right.
It's like also no. So somewhere in between that, those two things. So like advice for people when they're thinking about getting into it is tough. But my first thing is to make sure that they're not doing it out of some preconceived notion that they will succeed, that they will be famous, that they will make a lot of money or any money at all. Just make sure that they know that they're doing it to have a good time. Especially if you don't have friends or family to watch you in the beginning. You're throwing your stream up that maybe a guy will come in and talk to you for a second. In a 3-hour stream, maybe. It's tough.
It is. It 100% is. It can be very, I think you have to have an extraordinary amount of resilience to not just be defeated immediately. Like people who have been grinding and trying for multiple years, it can be really tough because it's very easy, I think, to equate your worth with a number, and so it's like, okay, well, I'm a 3-person streamer kind of person, or I'm a like 1,000 person streamer, kind of number. It's very easy just.
As soon as I go down to 100-person streamer, I'm sad now, or whatever.
Yeah. I think
crazy.
There's a flip side, I think, to all of this, which is like I'm grateful for the journey that has been my channel, where I think some people would be like, man, I wish I could have just like exploded from, day one.
No, they don't, by the way.
Yeah.
They don't want that. They don't know they don't want that, but they don't want that.
That's so true. I mean, like, I've seen people who started right around the time that I did. They exploded, became partner, and they stopped streaming almost immediately after and have never touched it again. And
I've seen
so
many
burnt
of those.
out.
Yes.
And I think, at least for me personally, I've been able to at least acknowledge and appreciate, like, this has been a journey, and because of that, there are times where my content, maybe wasn't the best, but I got to sort of over time, like, tweak certain things, or I got to learn, all right, and I'm still learning, like, okay, how can I use my Discord community? How can I, how should I be using it?
Yeah.
How should I be using social media? How should I, what OBS things do I need to learn and perfect? What all that, and
what can I ignore?
Right. Also a good question.
Yeah.
But like, had I exploded one day, really early on, I feel like I would have become so overwhelmed with.
I would have crashed and burned.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I would have probably given up at a certain point, because it's just like, I still don't know so much. But I'm sure when you have that bigger viewership, there's maybe a lot of pressure to then just focus on the content and the entertaining and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like despite the fact that you have to, as a content creator, you are. You juggle a lot of hats, or you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
People don't juggle hats; they wear hats.
Yes. Well, I bet you some people juggle hats.
I'm sure there's a TikTok of someone juggling hats.
Almost certainly.
But what would you say are the most common, like, or most prevalent, like, roles that streamers have, or that fit into the facet of, like, what is a streamer?
Yeah, there's a lot. You're right. There's a ton. You've got to be an entertainer at some point of some sort, right? Either you're like an esports athlete, god at your game, or you're entertaining to watch, or you're funny, or you're informational. You just have to be. You're entertainer. You have to be an entertainer. If you're gonna put your content online, you're an entertainer or an educator. Those are the two things you got. That's it. Or an athlete, if you want to put it that way. But you also have to be able to, like, graphically design your stream, manage your brand. What colors is your stream, Jet? I bet you know, because I have my color palette online, right. And I could tell you every hash code. I've gotten proficient with GIMP and Photoshop. I'm now like a photo editor to build like promotional media for social media, but also to work on stuff for my overlays and my scenes and stuff. I'm suddenly like a showrunner now for date nights and for all this stuff. I'm an automator. I've dipped into programming more than I ever have before. I've dipped into social media management and brand management so much more than I ever would have otherwise. This is like, there's so much that you have to do, and it's a one-man job for 99% of streamers. It's like, okay, we'll figure it out. You don't have friends who know the business. You don't have anybody who works for you, or I need this done by tomorrow, whatever. You're usually throwing your money at it into a fire that says, I need this graphic, I need that emote, I need this overlay if it was, back when I first started or whatever, or I need to pay for this class or whatever. And yeah, it's all tax deductible. Then you're talking about keeping up with the games and choosing the games that you want to play. And you have to, if you're on Twitch, you're probably a gamer, so you have to choose the right games. And it's just, there's so many different facets to being successful on the website. So many. Or to even just try to be your best. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes time. Like, I feel like no streamer would say they were able to, perfect all of those roles at one time. It's just a part of the journey that, you kind of have to go on, and you learn from others, and you try to learn from YouTube videos. And I think also trying to, amidst all of it, trying to carve out your own little, like, niche and figure out what you want to be about, and
learn what your identity is or what you want it to be, and then maintain that throughout it all.
It's a whole thing, and I think a lot of people don't even think about it at all. Like
not at all. Especially the
I have
disrespecters, man. Even the people who love you for what you do, they don't fully understand what all goes into it. It just seems like, okay, they turn the camera on, they play the game. And for a lot of streamers, that's true. But that's totally valid and true. Criticism of tons of streamers, sure. But not me, not you, not the people who are trying their hardest, right? Like, I'm out here like, what's the right hashtag for my TikTok? Something I never had a thought about before, right? And that might be very common knowledge to someone who's on social media all the time. I'm not, so I got to learn that. How do I chroma key out a background of a green screen? I didn't know how to do that. One day I learned, right? It's all of that stuff. And so when I say like social media manager or whatever, I mean like down to there's no one else. You have to do it right. You have to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
For all of those things.
And that can be really tough for someone starting off. And, I think, at least for me, it was kind of taking each day at a time and sort of like, all right, we can't do everything perfectly up front. And so we're just gonna slowly make our way. We're gonna slowly, like, it's only been really within the past year that I started tweeting out the fact that I was streaming at all.
Yeah, which is wild, right? It was a mistake. You should have been doing it the whole time. I've been doing it even less than you, right? I should have been doing it 3 years ago. It's a mistake not to reach out on every other platform. It's just a flat out mistake. But there's this weird, like, I don't know how. I'm gonna do it wrong. It's like my brother. It's a tweet. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It'll be the TikTok that's at the bottom of your page when you're 100 TikToks in. It'll be the YouTube video that's 5 years in the past when you get your golden play button. Try, make, create, do it. It's not gonna be good. Definitely not gonna be perfect. But learn along the way. Figure it out. Go. That's the problem. That's the biggest thing that I struggle with for sure. It's just like being like, okay, time to put out something that's imperfect or bad.
Yeah.
So that because I'm just learning it and I'm new to it and I have to start my journey somewhere. And you don't start out good at stuff. You start out bad at stuff, and that includes the stuff we're showing off online.
We just have to think of it like we're starting our underdog story. We're like,
look where I came from. I was a laptop on some manga, dude.
I'm gonna actually purposely start doing things bad at first, so that way I can be like,
the glow up is more intense. Yeah. I've seen those videos that are like my stream journey the past 10 years. Look how terrible it was. Look how great it's become. I wish that I would have started off of like a potato or something, or like something just way worse. So I could be like, look how far we've come.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah, I can still mess a lot of stuff up. Let's go.
Before we get into Q&A, because you mentioned it, and I actually was so focused on the streaming bit that I kind of forgot about this. But D&D. When did you start playing D&D or getting involved with like RPGs, tabletop games?
Never played it growing up. Never played it in school. Never played it in college. One day I was on Twitch because I was a Twitch addict, and I was looking at the top categories, and it was a Thursday night. And Dungeons & Dragons was one of the top categories. I was like, there are nerds who do Dungeons & Dragons successfully on this website. I clicked it. It was Critical Role, obviously. I clicked them, and I watched the entire Voragol fight from Campaign 1.
Dang.
And that's when I dropped in. The moment I dropped in, I remember the first thing that happened was like they were using their like magic, like some sort of move earth thing to like create bunkers in this ice wall so that Percy would have a place to shoot from, and they're baiting out this white dragon, and I was just like, and they're like rolling numbers and saying stuff and yelling, and I was like, what's happening? I don't this is cool. What is this?
Yeah.
And so I was like, whatever, I guess they have a YouTube, right? And then I watched Campaign 1 all the way through. Or at least I caught up to it. I caught up like really fast to it. Like I spammed the crap out of it. And then through like listening intently and like doing all that, I just learned all the rules to the game from listening to somebody else play it. Right? It's like you just pick up on these certain things. And then I start getting the first D&D book I ever got was Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which is an expansion. It's not really. Yeah. It doesn't tell you the rules to D&D. It's an expansion to D&D. And then I got the Player's Handbook, and then I got the DMG, and then I got the Monster Manual. And I'm reading all these things, and I'm just like, I love this. I want to do this. I want to DM this. I want to play this. And I joined a campaign with someone who's still a community member. Was my first dungeon master ever back at Oklahoma State University. And I played a paladin and I played a warlock in that campaign. It was just a blast. And I was like, oh, it is as fun as I expected it to be, because
That's so fun.
it was just awesome. And so it's all Critical Role's fault for me.
That's actually kind of, well, I had played some random tabletop RPGs before, but I didn't really like super get into it until Critical Role.
Yep.
And kind of on a similar note, the first episode of Critical Role I ever watched was actually
Borgo.
No,
We were just in chat at the same time having a moment. We were just like, what?
We were pogging, and I didn't even know what that meant.
Pre-pog era.
No, it was actually one of Liam's one shots. It was
cool.
the one where he
Did
there was
he
like,
talk like this?
yeah,
I know that one.
And they're all kids.
Yeah.
And I think for me it was, I loved the storytelling, and I was like, even in that little
Liam's
bit, I was kind of compelled.
Very creative.
Yeah, and then
Very
I
creative.
think
Annoyingly creative.
Yeah, annoyingly creative is accurate. Seeing how then he used the game to communicate to his IRL friends how much he meant
He
to
loves
them.
them. Yeah.
Wait, reverse that. How much they meant to him. Let me tell you how much I mean to you.
Listen, sit down. We're gonna play a game for 4 hours, and by the end of it, you'll know how cool I am. You'll love me.
I thought that was so cool, and I was like,
was touching.
"Excuse me?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just thought that was
You
such
did
a,
that
a
with
cool thing
Dungeons
to
and
do.
Huh now? What? Yeah.
Mhm. And so, and then kind of like you, I started watching Campaign 1. I started painting minis while watching Campaign
Geek
1.
and Sundry
and so,
stuff. Yo.
Yeah, yeah, it was wonderful. So it's I don't know, it's a really interesting.
It's a beautiful time to look back on that Geek and Sundry era. I loved it.
For sure. I actually had, what was it called? Project Alpha.
I did too for a while.
Yeah, I had a
to
Project
watch
Alpha
After Dark
subscription.
Talks.
Yes, and they had like the painting show and like a
Yep.
whole bunch of other stuff that I remember watching.
Taliesin would
We could've
review
been in the
comic
same
books.
chat.
I've never read a comic book in my life, but I'd watch Taliesin review because I was just obsessed with this group of people and their nerdy stuff. And there was a point in time where I was just like, they mean so much to me. These people who have never read or heard my voice, read my name, seen me before in my entire life, they mean so much to me because they're so vulnerable and emotional, and D&D was a big part of that, and I was like, sounds cool.
That is, yeah, and I think that is the part that I enjoy is when people get into it and can sort of really put themselves into their characters, and I think they do a good job. I will say it's one of the difficulty of Critical Role is that they are professionals. They are professional
It sets
actors.
an expectation.
They are experts. Yeah. It can set an expectation of this is what a home game should be like.
Yeah,
I guess,
if everyone
and will be
grew
like.
up in improv school and did plays and shows their whole life and acted for a career, yes, your home game would look like a show.
100%, but it's like, no, that's not really the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And but still, like, learning that you can put yourself in your character and being willing to be vulnerable in that sense, and maybe make yourself look like an idiot, but like doing that
comfortably with
in a
friends.
comfortable,
Yeah.
Right. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
So what has been like for date nights, leading in from going from D&D into date nights, like we know that you have put in a lot of work in making a lot of it function, and the doing that, but then also being a DM and having to DM the chaos that we put you through. What has been your experience being not only a dungeon master, but a dungeon master on Twitch?
It's been joyous. I love it. I love it so much. Tuesday nights are one of my favorite nights of like all time. As every Tuesday night it comes up. It's very stressful for me as a dungeon master and a showrunner because I'm like, okay, set the title. Wait a minute, where are they? How many days has it been? Okay, update, we're in the Dungeons and Dragons category. Is there any active spells up right now that I should remember? Okay, is the back end of all of the programming and stuff working? And how's the date nights like skill tracker? how could I try that in with this over here? And what if they kill them? And I'm just like, I'm over here like going galaxy brain every Tuesday for about 6 hours before we go live. And Megan can attest to that. So can GBC. That I'm just in here, just shut up in my room all day on Tuesdays, not going live, just working on it. And I love the creativity. I love dungeon mastering. I didn't know if I would because I've only done it once before. I'm a very new dungeon master, very new to it, and I don't have a lot of experience. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, and hopefully I can get better over time. There's some things I need to definitely brush up on, like the passage of time. And maybe getting more than like 3 voices for my characters would be cool. But I have so much fun playing the game and just jumping in and investing with you guys. And hearing you guys explore yourselves and your characters and your moments and everything is just so fun. Throwing monsters at you guys and having a couple of really close life and death situations has been really tense and fun and important. And there was, I mean, you've probably heard of this because I think Laura was the one that talked about it a lot in Critical Role, but there's a book somewhere, a book whose title I should probably remember if I'm ever gonna make this reference again, but I don't remember the title. But it's just like, hey, the memories that you make, the part of your brain that's active whenever you're role playing is the same part of your brain when you're making real memories. There's a couple of different parts. There's like where you store your facts and where you store your experiences or something, and you store tabletop in your experiences over here, things you did, things that you did, a life that you lived. And I feel that way about a lot of gaming, to be honest. I'm really passionate about it, but tabletop's just next level to me, and I love playing the game.
And that makes sense because like I have like burned things in game, and I am now an arsonist in real life, and so like the experiences, it just translated so well, and so now
my testing ground. Yeah, and it's the only time I feel like myself anymore. When something's on fire.
When I see my reflection in the flicker of the flames, it just
the burning of your eyes. That's the next scene. It's the camera zooming in on your eyes.
No, it's such a fun time, and it's honestly, I think when you really communicated that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a new DM. I feel like as a player, I don't necessarily feel that. So, it's just very fun. I love it. I love it as well. But before we get into a thing, we have some Q&As that we're going to answer.
Let's do it.
From my community, from your community. It's wonderful. So,
from jetpackpaul.com/jetwave. Let's go.
It's so true. Yeah.
That's right.
So, first question is from Lykel.
I know
Lykel
him.
said, you know him, Lykel Mowry. We flame you sometimes for missing streams or being late, but streaming is a big commitment, and you still manage to stay pretty consistent. What are some things you do to balance your everyday life with streaming?
Well, Lykel Mowry, since I know your situation so well, you are working a lot and trying to stream, and that's something that I did once, and that's very difficult. So right now, as far as like work-life balance goes, I don't have a lot of it. I'm not working outside of stream. I'm doing everything I can to work for date nights and Sputnic and my future online. I'm probably gonna snag a job real soon just to subsist while I try to pursue my passion and stuff. But for now, I don't have to really balance a lot. I can just work a lot. And I work from home, and so does Megan a lot of the time, so we can see each other all the time. So as far as like my social relationships go, I'm satiated. I'm doing everything I need to do at home. I'm making dinner for everybody. I'm watching shows. I'm hanging out. I travel on the weekends all the time up to Oklahoma or down to Houston or wherever. So it's all very easy because I'm not currently full-time employed. But if you asked me about 6 months ago, I would have told you that it's not a good balance. I was working 55, 60-hour weeks, getting home from a sweaty, physically intensive job, not hitting the shower, throwing a hat on, and going live. Because the only reason that I was working was to live, and the only reason I was living was to stream. I love to stream. I love making content. I love going live. So I sacrificed a lot for it at the time. It was literally get up at 6, out the door by 6:30, home when you're home, whenever your work's done for the day. Make dinner for you and your lovely girlfriend and go live. And a lot of it was just like, I miss you too, but I'm gonna go do the thing and stream. So I'm not a good example of a good work-life balance for the most part, because I sacrifice for this a lot.
It's a hard thing to do. You have to. It's something you have to choose to do and focus to do, but it can be tough with like just life. Life. Period.
Yep. Yeah. Like no work needed. Life.
Yeah.
life sometimes gets in the way, and life did get in the way a couple of times. Lykel's new enough to the community that he wouldn't remember the multiple 6-8 month long breaks that I had to take, or not had to take, that I took, where I didn't even communicate. A very big regret of mine that I have in streaming is I didn't communicate to my community that I was even going to take these breaks, because I didn't even know I was taking breaks. There were just times when I couldn't muster the will to do what I love, or any of it, and to even go live. And then it gets to this point where it's been so long that going live would be embarrassing now, because you don't have a plan, you don't have a schedule for them. Being consistent has been really tough for me. Having a schedule has been really tough for me, but I'm glad to see that I've been improving at it. And my advice is to definitely have a schedule if you can. And if you cannot, do not stress about it. Just have fun.
Yeah. That is great advice. Lykel said a second part. He said, you're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to tips and tricks for streaming. Some of us may know the answer to this already, but just how long have you been streaming, and how long did it take you to master the back end of streaming? For example, OBS troubleshooting, coding certain features, green screens, making stream function better than most, etc. You kind of maybe answered a little bit of that before, but do you have anything to add?
I think I started streaming January of 2019. But don't audit that because I have a terrible memory for time. But as far as like quote unquote mastering the back end, I haven't. But I try all the time. I'm learning new things all the time. I'm on YouTube all the time. Probably one of the first things that I felt like I quote unquote mastered was a green screen. But even back then, I had a terrible green screen and terrible lighting, and it looked awful. And I had like 3 different chromas for 3 different shades of green that I was trying to cover on one source. So I was just like, you live and learn, and you get better over time, and just don't compare yourself to people. If you're gonna start out streaming tomorrow, or if you started out last month, or if you started out this year, I probably know more than you. So there's a lot of people. Don't compare yourself to me. Just hit me up in my DMs. I got you. And if I don't respond, hit me up twice, 3 times, 4 times, because I'm awful at responding. But I got you. I love sharing the knowledge. I love helping. So. It takes a lot of time, and there's still things that I feel like I don't understand to this day. So mastery is not a word I would use. But there are like some very basic things about OBS that I do not understand still.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So next question, it's a 3-parter from Sassy Lady Panda.
I know Sassy.
You know Sassy. The first question is, what game were you most looking forward to playing, but were disappointed by when you finally got to play it?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Okay, this is a tough one because the answer that came to mind is Kingdom Hearts 3, but I love Kingdom Hearts 3, so that's why it's tough, right? It's like the question was like you were looking forward to it and then were disappointed. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out a decade before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I had 10 years to stir and storm and wait and suffer. Hopefully we don't have the same thing going on with Silksong soon. The sequel to Hollow Knight, because I want that to be so good. But Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and it was a pretty good game. But it didn't like knock my socks off. And I've been waiting for a decade. So that would be my answer. I still love Kingdom Hearts 3, but it wasn't like a 10-year long wait love.
Okay, next question. Conversely, what game were you hesitant to try but pleasantly surprised to find you really enjoyed it?
The first thing that came into my mind was Valheim. Have you heard of Valheim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
It's a Viking crafting survival game, and I just despise crafting survival games for the most part, where it's like I mean, like there are games like Ark Survival where you're managing everything down to your stool. Like you are just managing way too much, and you have to keep repairing the wall, or it breaks over a week, and if you log out for a week it's broken or whatever. But I don't like survival crafting games.
That's the worst.
It's just like so much time and effort and all that stuff. But then I played Valheim and I was like, never mind, I love survival crafting games or something. I don't know. I guess something changed because I love Valheim. So that one took me by surprise big time.
Huh. It needs to be on something that I can play. Please,
I want to
would
play
love-
that with you bad.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. Sassy has one more question. Do you have any thoughts on what the streamer house gift could possibly be?
No, I know that. Okay, so Sassy's been working on a gift for us. She calls our house the streamer house, and it literally is. We have 3 streamers here. We're team 11. What's up? We're team 3. We got 3 streamers in the house, so it is technically a streamer house. That's true. Because I'm living with a wonderful GBCX Prime, Fisker 4, and Larket26 on Twitch. Follow them. I know Sassy can knit and crochet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My best guess is we all get beanies with our names on them. I don't know. That's my guess.
He's so much
That's
fun.
my guess. Matching beanies. How about that? That's what came to mind.
I like that. I hope that's what you get. All right, we had our next one is from Reshi.
My dog?
It just says, it says, can I go outside and can I have a treat? What are you eating? Is it treats for Reshi? I'm sure they are. Please give me the Reshi treats that you are eating. Signed, Reshi.
Reshi treats right here. And as for going outside, we literally just had the storm knock out our internet, so bro's not going outside right now.
That's actually, I like that. Also,
I'll give him a treat for you, Resh.
I forgot to read this from Sassy. She said, I love that Nick is always happy to see people when they enter chat. At least that is how it always feels when I enter chat. I feel like he genuinely enjoys what he's doing and it makes every stream fun to be a part of. I look forward to always being a part of his community, which I thought was...
That's very kind. That's very
so
sweet.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Also so true. But so true.
But true. Oh, that's very nice. Anyone who was there for my 24-hour stream that I did once upon a year can know that I'm not very good at accepting those compliments. So we're gonna glide smoothly past that and say thank you, Sassy.
All right, don't worry. There's more. I only next question is from Chris Yadao.
Yadao?
Yadao. I only have one question. When is the internet famous Larket26 going to stream?
Why is that always everyone's question, dude? I'm a streamer
Wait
too,
a
dude.
minute. Then, okay, he actually submitted another one. He says, I have one more question. When are you going to stop hating the working class? And he goes, I know asking this is kind of pointless because I can't even be here to see your answer. I guess I'll just have to swing by during my lunch break as usual. Gah.
I'm sorry. I got everyone used to me streaming at like 8 p.m. my time, and then I yoinked it away and said 2 p.m. instead, and now everyone at work is like, curse you, Nicholas. How dare you, sir?
For the first question, he submitted 2 different forms. Mm-hmm. For the first one about Larket's stream, he said, my favorite parts of Sputnik streams are the parts where things get scuffed. Especially when they are scuffed because we spent our Sputnicles on some scuffed redeems. Good times. Love you, baby boy. But then for the stop hating the working class, he says the part that is his favorite are the parts when I'm there, Sag emoji.
Was that part of the form? Is like saying something nice?
It was just like, do you have anything like? What's your favorite part of Nick's streams? That kind
that's
of thing.
That's very cool.
Here are 3 questions.
3?
And I feel like these are pretty good. The first question is, what do you see the meta of streaming being in the next 3 years? This is from Prince Raglan.
What up, Rag? I think, there's a difference between the Twitch meta and the growth meta. The growth meta for the next 3 years is foreseeably TikTok. 1 and 2, I think what I'm noticing is that people who, it's so weird. Okay, people who are in the just chatting category, specifically to be just chatting streamers, I think are seeing a disproportionate amount of success compared to people who are playing games. So I think people are coming to Twitch more and more, not for game with me, which there's still millions out there who are like game with me, but specifically to talk and chat and experience life and relax and watch videos and hang out and maybe like you do that thing where you stand up with a microphone and you're addressing the chat and it's a real show type feel with like show audience thing. I think that's super super meta, and I'm thinking about dipping my toes in. I think that's good growth meta. As far as like good Twitch meta, it's always going to be top tier. If you're talking about the top tier people, it's always gonna be drama between each other, which I'm not interested in. Because that's what gets clicks. If you see XQC every day he goes live, he says huge drama, big drama, whatever is in his title. It's all about the drama between the big names. People love to follow the celebrity drama on Twitch. But as far as the growth strategy, it's TikTok, and I sincerely think it will be just chatting. Yeah. Which is weird because when I jump in just chatting, I'm like the 1,600th person in the category. It's there's tons of people doing it. Right? And I always say, like, don't go play Fortnite, don't go play COD, because it'll be so far down in the directory no one will find you. I actually think just chatting is like a growth platform now, more than anything else.
I agree. That's really, and that it seems to change over. It seems to have changed over the past few years, but that's. I think you're right about that. Raglan also asks, do you have any plans of migrating to another platform?
I do not. I have plans. Affiliates and partners now, I think, are not. You're allowed to co-stream, which is sick.
Right.
So cool. I can co-stream for the most part. Oh no, I don't think I can co-stream. I think I can only stream like my Twitch content to Twitch or something. I don't know what it is, but I don't have any plans of moving my live content off Twitch at all.
Okay, that's fair. And then the third question, when are you going to activate Windows?
I'm never going to activate Windows. I shall never activate Windows.
It's a meme now. But then Raglan said about what he liked about your channel. Raglan said, literally everything. The energy / vibes, the hard work put into channel point rewards, the connection with chat, the dedication to the craft, the emphasis of both quality and quantity. I just hope Mr. Sputnic remembers us when he gets a bajillion subs.
Thanks, Rag.
Which, if you go now to Mr. Sputnic's page, you can help him get to a bajillion subs.
1 bajillion. That's my goal.
All right, let's see. Next questions. This one is from Rainy.
I know her.
We know her. If you could play any game on stream, no limitation for finding it, buying it, emulating it, caring about viewership, etc., what game would you play?
Okay. My knee-jerk answer is that I would do Zelda-thon. But that's Megan's thing. It's not like a monetary thing. It's just like I love the Zelda games so much, but there's this feeling that like if so if you don't know, my girlfriend Lurkat26, wonderful woman, is playing all of the Zelda games. Whoa, sunscreen in the eyes. From chronological order in canon, in universe, according to their timeline that they have that like splits and branches and resets or whatever. She's playing them all in order, and it's so exciting. It's so fun. She's on game 4, and she's been at it for like over a year. So there's this feeling that's like I can't play Zelda games because that's Zelda-thon content, and that's Megan stuff. It's like I don't want to step on her toes. I want the people who want Zelda content to go see Megan. I don't want to like. What if I beat the game that Megan's about to play next time, and she like tunes into my stream and sees spoilers and stuff? But I want to play Zelda games bad. I love Zelda. I grew up on it.
You should just play the CDI Zelda.
What?
I don't think.
Oh no.
That's Zelda content. It's exactly.
What's the quote? It's like boo hoo princess or whatever.
Is it excuse me?
Excuse me, princess. Yeah, no. Yeah. Maybe I should play that. Maybe that'll get my fix in.
There we go.
Or if I could play any game, regardless of anything, I would play Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Including its release.
Ooh, including time travel. I want it.
Oh. She also has another question. Who is your streamer inspiration and why? Who inspired you to stream?
My brother obviously inspired me to start streaming because he said, "You stream now," and I said, "Yes, sir." As far as like inspiration, is I take a lot of inspiration from my friends. Down here in the depths and the trenches with me, fighting their way to the top. I take inspiration and like, I take inspiration from Jetpack Paul all the time. So consistent, so positive, such a wonderful, welcoming place to be. Such a good environment and a good stream, and you're so funny and you're so good at telling stories. And I watch your stream, and I actually am like peepo-G'ing in my living room while you're on the TV, and I'm eating dinner or whatever. I'm peepo-G, Rainy R3 noted over here, like, okay. He literally just spent an hour telling a story about when he was an employee at the Mac store, but the whole time I was enthralled. How did he do that?
You see, that's only just because I can tell the same story for an hour.
Yeah, but you can. That's the thing. So if I start telling stories, especially if chat dies down to like listen to my story or something, I'll be like, there's this one time, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and I'm like glancing at chat, and if I'm not getting like as much of a response as I need, I'm just like, anyways, now we're starting the video game, goodbye, or whatever. No. But you have this resilience, and sometimes chat will just sit and listen to you because you're so like vocally entertaining, and sometimes when you're doing storytelling, it feels like I'm watching YouTube and I'm just experiencing it on my side.
Okay.
So a lot of the time we have you on all the time, but we will just be like eating food. You're always on our TV, and you'll be telling a story, and me and Megan will just be like, he's so funny. He's such a good storyteller. I take inspiration from you all the time. But I also take a big inspiration from people who work really hard on back-end stuff and like developers, like Andy Lippy and Nutty and Exceldro and that whole group.
Andy Lippy, yeah.
He gets on my nerves, but he's a smart dude. So that whole like group of like streamer bot enthusiasts really inspire me, and back end and all the cool ways you can integrate Twitch into other things. And then like Ludwig and Co-Carnage and Northern Lion would be like, I guess those are my three different sources of inspiration, is like looking at my peers and loving certain things that they do and wanting to be more like them in certain ways, looking at the top and seeing who made it and who could make it by being themselves for the most part. Yeah. And those types of things that I vibe with and what they did to grow, and what they sacrificed, and then looking sort of northeast and then upwards a little bit, and that's where the developers all live, and I love them too.
Yeah. No, that's so fun, and it's interesting because we didn't talk about this, but I think we've talked about this in the past, which is because I think it's important to look at the people who are very successful in the platform and who've established themselves as absolutely. And I think we had chatted about this once before about how like I think I was saying that Dex Bonus was talking about how her and her husband who both stream have like just different approaches to how they
completely
do their
different
stream. Like
I follow Strippin on Instagram. It's completely different than Dex.
Right? Yeah, 100%. I love Strippin too. He's hilarious. But she was saying like, people go to him for like new games. Like he will be playing Elden Ring on launch day or whatever, and people were asking her, "Hey, are you gonna play Elden Ring?" This was like the first week it came out, and she was like, "Probably not. Like I do want to play it, but she was like, realistically, I know that my community doesn't really watch me for new games.
What's hot? What's brand new? Yeah."
Yeah, and actually, I was watching her stream the other day, and she was saying that she is now shifted to doing, because she plays a lot of indie games and stuff, she has shifted to only playing a game once for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very rare now that she will complete a game on stream, and she realized, someone asked her why, and she was answering, she was like, I've noticed that the longer, because she was like, it takes me a long time to beat a game,
right? And
the longer a game goes, I've noticed like once we get towards that, and she was like, once I get towards the end where it's like maybe people have decided they want to play the game now because they've been watching me play it.
Yeah, but now you're spoiling the game for me.
Yes, and so she was like, viewership drops because people want to finish the game on their own, or they want to experience certain things on their own.
I literally did that to her. I watched her play Moonlighter, and I was like, I'm sold. I'm gonna get the game. Bye forever.
Yeah, So like, it makes sense. Like, and there actually, I will say, there are times where I've done the same, where I've been like, sweet, I can see I can really enjoy this, and I've gone back and then finished VODs that of the games that I've played, but I've done the same where I'm like, okay, I know now I would love to watch her, or I would love to play this, so I'm gonna stop watching this. So it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
But just really interesting because she has thought through this is more than likely my niche, at least for now.
Yeah.
And so it might
At
change,
least this
might
is what
develop,
people
but
are coming to me for, and this is their decision,
Right.
and this is what I have to react to. I will say that that's a little bit of a I don't want to call it celebrity privilege or like famous privilege
Right.
or something.
Yes.
Because if you
Yeah.
are a 10 viewer Andy and you're jumping games every day from indie game to unknown indie game, that's not growth. That's not
Yeah.
that's not growth.
I can tell you that,
But if you're at the
yes,
top running around and you are the person that people come to, you're the new Total Biscuit of rewards or of reviews or whatever, then yeah, you have to jump. And if you stay for too long, people are gonna be like, "Where's the new games?"
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
She knows her niche.
But you're right.
She knows her audience.
Yeah. But Rainey also says, I greatly enjoy how much he cares about the community he has built. He is always working to make his stream experience more interactive and making sure he can give more to those that support him. His energy is always high and he makes people feel very welcomed. Ever since finding his streams over a year ago, I always felt welcome and comfortable talking in chat. He is an overall pog person.
I'm not sure if it was the first day she was in chat, but it was one of the first days she was in chat. I banned her, so I don't know what she's talking about being welcome.
Hilarious.
She called me Sputnic, and then she called me a potato.
Out.
Banned.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Bye. I love my friends.
Secret has a question, which is,
I know her.
Can Reshi get a treat cam? Reshi wants a treat cam.
We've thought about it a lot. All I need is another webcam, and I'll set it up. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll freaking do it. That's what that hype train that just happened will go to. I'll get Reshi treat cam. He's such a cute boy.
Yeah, right? And Secret says, Jet and Nick, you already know that your smiles and your personality are your most amazing parts of your stream. Secret's so nice.
Secret's so sweet. Always a compliment. Always something sweet to say.
Right. Next question is from Gilmore Girl.
I know
she
them.
asked, have you seen the musical Oklahoma? Thoughts? Now that's being from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma was a musical that was written by 3 New Yorkers who've never been. Just to make that clear, I think that's a, you can double check that, but it's true. They'd never ever been. I like that there's a musical called Oklahoma. I like that there's a song where it goes, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. We learned that very early in public school.
I'm sure. I'm so
And the
sure,
waving I even sung it in like senior choir. It's a decent enough musical. Fun song. It's fun to have a musical named after your state.
Okay.
Because you got the people and you're
imagine
like, where's the Alaska musical?
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine. That's just what was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie with the bear?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I could never think of the name.
It would just be that.
Yeah.
It would just be that.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Adrian underscore
Adrian!
TN
Yeah.
asks, if you were not the dungeon master for date nights, what would your character be?
Ooh,
If you were like a player.
I usually fall into the same archetypes over and over again, so I'd probably try to switch it up more. I usually go for the like happy family life, mysterious disappearance of something or someone, unknown relic fallen into my possession. I'm really drawn to genasi, so probably like a fire genasi, water genasi type. That came from the elemental chaos planes, and I have to find my missing uncle and his other part of the magical relic that I have the other half of, and we need to figure out what that's all about.
I love it.
I never play martial characters. Ever.
I want to know what relic your uncle has now.
It doesn't exist. I just made that up. It's not real. But I'd probably be a wizard or a cleric or something like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Adrian asked, I thought this was a very, very good question. When choosing who to follow on Twitch, what or is there a criteria that you use to help make your choice?
I probably have one of the longest follow lists that anyone's ever seen, and I did my best to cull it recently. I got rid of like 200 or so, but I have a really long follow list on Twitch, and if you look at my phone, if I lock it right now, I'll probably have like 1 million. Yeah, I have over 100 Twitch notifications right now.
Oh my gosh.
Goes and goes
goodness.
and goes and goes and goes.
Goodness.
I am not picky about who I follow. I will happily give you my follow. The thing that people need to realize about Twitch is that follows are empty.
Yeah.
They don't mean much of anything. It means that if I choose to, and I can opt out, I can be notified when you go live. Otherwise,
Right.
you just appear on the left side of my screen. But if I'm not conditioned as a user to come to your stream or hang out with you or whatever, then I don't. And I spend I probably go to like 30 Twitch chats a day, but I usually spend a total of 2 minutes on average in each one of them. I don't even talk. I'm just checking in on people. How are they doing? What are they playing? What are they up to? That's a cool looking event. Maybe I could have thoughts about that. I'm just running around searching for inspiration. So when I follow people, it's just I like your vibe, or I like the way that you stream. That's it. Or it's almost like I'm using them to a degree, where it's just like I am just always searching for inspiration. Always. I'm not the first person who came up with intro sounds. Right. I'm not. I saw it somewhere and I was like, I could do it better, and I did.
Well, and I think that's just part of doing research as a streamer, and I think also like I feel like no matter where somebody is on their journey, I think you can learn something from everybody, even if it's
what not to do.
What not to do.
I learned that more than anything else.
Right, and sometimes it's also like, this works for them, but I know that I don't want to do this.
I don't want to try that.
Doesn't work for me.
But it's not like a bad thing, but it's not my style.
Right.
But a lot of the times I find myself, maybe it's not what not to do, but I find what I don't like. And I'll still follow those people. I'll stick around.
Yeah.
And because it's all research. It's neutral in my brain. Follows mean
100%.
nothing to me. I'll follow everybody. Good question.
Yeah, I think so too. And Adrian's last question is, what is your favorite memory as a Twitch streamer?
I wish I highlighted the VOD of that 24-hour stream.
I know.
I wish I downloaded it. I wish I highlighted it. I wish I still had it. But it's also beautiful that it just lives in our memories too.
Yeah.
But it was a resounding success. And everyone was taking the time, even people who don't hang out in the community very often, to reach out and just tell me the difference and the impact that I've made as a creator, which you don't get to see all the time. When you tell a joke on stream, you don't get to see who laughs. Whenever you share a thought on stream, you don't get to see who's contemplating it or what their response might be. You just get to see what they choose to type back, if they choose to type back at all. And so that was just an overwhelming amount of like a lot of thank yous, and a lot of what you're doing matters. From a lot of people that I respect in my community, and it rocked my world. That's my favorite memory.
Absolutely. That was such a great moment. And
It was.
It was fantastic.
Nothing's ever felt that way.
Adrian also says, whenever I've been able to join in on a MisterSputnic stream, something that stands out to me is how open Nick is and how he makes everyone in the community feel welcome and as though they belong.
Yes, that's so kind. Thank you.
For me, my favorite part of MisterSputnic's stream is how engaging he is with the community and the positive, fun energy this creates when he's either just chatting or playing a game, or both.
That's very
and
kind.
Smile actually is at the very end.
And
I don't think it's your smile, like your smile, but there's a smile included on that. So
Otaku bookworm smile W.
Last of the questions that we have that were sent before, Opons, he asked what got you into streaming. We kind of covered that, but what is your favorite game and why?
Ooh.
Easy question.
Ooh,
Such an easy question.
Ooh, brother. Wow, that is not easy. I'm gonna name like 3 then. I'm gonna name a couple and I'm gonna put them in categories. My yearly revisited game that is a masterpiece game is Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. Many of you will know that I am the best Mario speedrunner. I'm incredible. I'm not, but I love that game so much. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is a masterpiece of game. It's incredible. It's the best game ever. I play it at least once a year. That's my maybe nostalgia game. 2, think if you've ever been a depressed gamer, you probably have a depression game that means a lot to you. I don't know if that's resonating with anybody, but I once was a depressed gamer, and I played this JRPG on the Xbox 360 that came with 5 discs. So that you got to a certain part, you had to switch the disc out. That was called Lost Odyssey. I love Lost Odyssey. It's like my guilty pleasure depression love game, because I don't think it's really probably that good of a game, but I love it so much. It's like Final Fantasy adjacent, as far as like the developers and the music writers and everything. It was just this weird studio that made like 2 games or whatever, and they made Lost Odyssey. I love Lost Odyssey in the Xbox 360. And then my favorite game to just sit down and play today, I mean, Minecraft is so important to me. League is so important to me. Hollow Knight's very important to me, obviously. I'm just going to leave it at that. Top 3.
Okay, I like that. All right, now we will have rapid fire the questions that came in during the stream.
Nice.
So we don't have to spend super long on this.
Yeah, they didn't even submit it beforehand, so we can just throw away the answers.
We gave them warnings anyway. We tried. No. All right. Rapid fire.
Yeah.
From GBC, are there platforms outside of Twitch that you would like to focus on in the coming months?
TikTok.
How did we meet? First meet. From
Who?
GBC also.
How did me and Gub first meet?
No, well, actually, that is a question, but how did you and I first
you and
meet?
I meet?
Yeah.
JPP went to a camp of some sort with my older brother, who we've talked about a couple times already during this interview. He's a very influential person in my life, and I look up to him greatly. They knew each other, and one day I was ending stream, and my brother was like, "Raid my friend," and I did. And now we're best friends. So.
Incredible. We love it.
Blake just pushes things onto me, I suppose. He says, here's a new best friend. Here's your new passion. Here's this. Here's that. Very thankful for my brother.
Another GBC question. I noticed the long hair. How much longer are you planning on growing it out?
I'm never stopping. I want to see. I think that people have a natural limit to how long their hair can get, and I've never discovered mine. I have a mission. But it touches my back now. I've never had that. It touches my back. It's weird. I have to like wrap it in a towel when it's drying because it takes more than 5 seconds. It's so weird. So long.
Another hair question from Robin Luna. What inspired you to go on your long hair journey?
Megan saw a picture of me, and I can't pull it up. I won't be able to find it. She saw a picture of me at an Oklahoma State football game in college when I was going through a long hair phase. It wasn't even quite this long. And she went, God, you were so hot with long hair. And that's all it took. As soon as she said that, I was like, you're right. Let's find out. And then now she's like, when are you going to cut your hair? I'm like, you just want variety in your life, you lady. You're just leading me around. And also, this is just like, I think in the male psyche, or maybe just the human psyche, but I went home to Oklahoma, and I just hadn't gotten a haircut in a while because I was being lazy about it. And my sister-in-law was like, I love your hair. I like how it's long. Oh. And I was like, you right. I guess that's my whole thing now, so see you later. And I just didn't cut
it. This question I think it's from Pengu, but I think this is when maybe when you were peaking at the beginning, but it just says,
I heard about that.
Are you coming in from an Xbox mic?
So I think where is it? GBC. I actually didn't look up, so I didn't see who it was, but I probably was GBC. He came in with a note card and said, make sure you have the right mic on Discord or something on the note card. And I was like, oh, so if I was a little spacey in the beginning right before I stopped speaking.
No, you're totally good.
But I do have my gamer mic, just in case we need it.
Perfect. Just in case. That's always good. VMX Nully asks, when did you first meet GBC and how did that friendship kick off? There we go.
My girlfriend started streaming at the beginning of like the lockdowns of the pandemic. She's like, she sees me streaming every day. She's like, I want to try. So I canceled my stream that night. I do way too much work on OBS, and I set her up, and she goes live. She plays Subnautica as like her first game, I think, on Twitch. She plays that for like a week. This chatter shows up, Apple Lily, shows up in her chat and says, you should raid this other guy I like, GBC. He plays Subnautica. And then we raided GBC. And then we were just like, this guy freaking rules. This guy's so cool. He gets it. He's neat. We just showered him in some love, and then we've just been friends ever since. We started like a little stream team for half a second, and now we live together. It's a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Love
fantastic.
that boy.
Sassy asks, are you excited for the Streamer House gift? Really wants to know.
Sassy, yes, but you're so mysterious.
And Llama Prince asks, how hard was it to find a good mod team?
Llama must have not heard my mod spiel about how I'm the luckiest man in the world. It was very easy to find a good mod team for me, but that is not the average experience. Is the exception to the rule. Finding mods is, I've found. I think I came from a place of privilege because people have talked to me about mods and stuff, and I'd be like, just get some, L. Like for a while I was just like, you just have them and they're mods, but I was just privileged. I didn't know how lucky I was.
It's a rare story for sure. But I mean, it honestly shows like how strong your community is and all that stuff, because it seems like, you know, that they've stuck around. They really shape your community and everything. Yeah.
Except for Llama is part of the working class, so we don't see her very often in the 2 PM streams anymore, which is sad.
That is a good point. I did see
down with the working class.
Sassy threw in just one last question. Many of my students say they want to be a streamer or YouTuber when they grow up. What advice, suggestions would you tell a 9-year-old that has a stream?
To practice storytelling and get comfortable in the limelight. To join an improv team. To do some modicum of theater, probably. Because it just opens you up to being the center of attention. All eyes on you. First time I was on a stage, I was terrified. Second time I was less so. Third time I was less so. Same with the camera, but I had this predisposition to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because of like a theater background. I think, do improv, do comedy. If you want to be a streamer, you're signing yourself up to be an entertainer. As long as they know that, they should do stuff that makes them more entertaining. Learn how to be a good storyteller. Learn how to be funny. Because those things are learnable.
I think that's like incredibly good advice and something to keep in mind, especially when like not only the times when you just started, but like as you go through.
Yeah, I still want to join classes.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to story tell.
True. Still, it's a skill. That's
why I watch you.
We don't really. Oh gosh, I don't know. I think that's one of those. Maybe I can learn and improve on this by watching. Look, we don't need to get into it.
Straight up learning.
This is, yeah. So, we have one last thing. Nick, and it won't take super long. But, we're going to switch over here for a sec.
We're switching?
Switching to a different scene. Let me make sure that you are,
It's so burlap.
It is. We're moving to the table. We're moving to the table right now. Hold on. Let me adjust the camera. Boop boop boop. Whoops.
Scooch me.
Now, Nick, I want you to tell us a little bit about. I want you to paint a picture for us. Okay. Let's say it's a brand new day, and it is your plan is to stream, right? Like you're gonna stream, and you know what? It's surprisingly a bit of a quieter day, because I'm sure like it's always hustling and bustling in that streamer house of yours, but you know you've sent I was gonna say you sent Lurkette to work. You saw Lurkette to work. Off with you. You sent you sent off. Like you bid her adieu for the day.
Yeah, forced her out of the house. Got it.
Right. And in this imaginary scenario, let's say that GBC and Fisker they're also gone. They have they're just somewhere. They took a trip.
Yep.
To that place. You know the place.
I know the place. Yeah.
You know that place.
Yeah, they're always going to that place. It's actually a coffee shop half an hour away that is so good that they drive really far for coffee. So I know the place.
Yeah, well, that's fair. So paint us a picture of what would you do if it's like, okay, now you're ready to start your stream. What would be, take us through that.
First thing, if I'm like already ready to start, I'm all groomed for the day. Then I'm going to pick out a shirt that chat won't flame me for. That's important. Okay. Because if I wear
what do you pick out?
It's usually like a navy, just t-shirt. I'm a t-shirt guy right now. That's what I'm doing.
You find your navy. You find your navy t-shirt. You got it. You got it on. What happens next?
I'm gonna feed Reshi and feed Bast and love on them a little bit, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and turn on all my lights and sit down and get ready to go.
Awesome.
Then it's about 15 minutes of like getting things ready to go. You know the drill.
Right. So then, let's say you're now sitting at your computer. You've got your lights on. You're in your navy shirt. You fed Reshi. You've got your water. What would be the first thing that you do? I guess to start.
So like turn on my stream.
Yeah.
Turn on like 6 different programs.
Okay.
StreamerBot, Stream Deck, OBS, change my title, mess with my camera settings, and then press start streaming, baby. And now I'm live.
So on this day, you've gone through all these steps, and it's weird because you've hit start streaming, and you get an error on your screen.
Not uncommon.
This is too real. You get an error on your screen, and it says you have no internet. The internet is gone.
Been there.
What do you do?
Well, I guess I have the day off. I probably would announce to Discord and be like, guess what? It happened again. And then tell them that we don't have internet again. Hit them
All
up.
of a sudden, you realize, though, right, you go start typing, and you notice now that you actually have 0 bars. Like, it's almost like something is wrong, either with, like, your router or with... something is kind of interfering.
Cellular too? Brick.
Cellular too.
I don't know. Check the weather. Check outside. Something weird happened.
Where do you keep your router?
It's literally on the other side of this door. I have to walk past it to get to the stairs. Yeah.
Let's say you head that way. There's you want to check that. Just to double check if there's any way you can make sure, see if that light's blinking or not.
Yeah, give it a blink test.
A little bit of a blink test.
Mm-hmm.
You go to your router and you see that there is an additional cable plugged into the router.
GBC.
And it's going off. It's going off.
GBC, what have you done to my router? I'm gonna trail it. I'm gonna follow the wire, I suppose.
Awesome.
Unplug it for sure. No, I'm just kidding. I'll follow it.
So you follow the route, this cable that was plugged into your router.
The new development.
Yes. And it takes you, you're upstairs, correct?
Yes.
Are you upstairs? Okay.
Yep.
So it takes you actually, you didn't notice it before while you were, feeding Reshi and all that, but it's actually it even snakes down the stairs, and it takes you to another room and then another room, and you find yourself kind of in a living room. That probably, this is what I imagine your living room looks like.
Oh no! I wish, bro. That's cool.
Yeah, your little living room there, and while you're in there, you start to hear sort of like a just a noise. Like at first it's not sure, you're not sure, but it sounds like mechanical kind of in nature.
Does the wire terminate anywhere into a thing or anything?
So you decide you're gonna continue following it.
Yeah.
So you do follow it, and you're going, and it's like kind of going around the entire room, and hypothetically, there's a closet.
This checks out. It's under the stairs.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
It goes, and it's going under the stairs.
That's a creepy spot. It's too big in there.
Mm-hmm. And so you open it up, and you find a little robot is in there. And he's all metallic and has he's pictured on screen, but he kind of has like a little head with a kind of a giant like camera eye sort of.
Mm-hmm.
A little dot for like a mouth. And just some like
cutie.
kind of spindly arms, or whatever. And when you open the door, you can tell that he like acknowledges you. Like he kind of like, you can see that it's sort of like boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
It's like,
like focusing.
It sees you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to focus. What do you do?
Hey, guy. What are you doing in my house? Like, who are you? What's up? What's going on?
The robot sort of like moves its head around.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like tilted it to the side. And it says, name?
My name?
It like tilts its head and says,
Yeah.
Name?
Nicholas.
It starts to like you process Nicholas sort of.
Okay.
And it says, Twitch?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Usually, yeah. Do you want my Twitch name? Sputnic. Sputnic. Yeah. Okay. MisterSputnic, but we're working on that. Sputnic.
When you say Mr. Sputnik, it's sort of like all the limbs kind of like lock into place for a second. You can kind of see that on its face, like the iris kind of gets a little bit bigger. You can even sort of at this range, you can kind of notice like the code starting, like you can almost see little mechanical workings inside of the iris. And all of a sudden it springs to life. And it says, hello, Mr. Sputnik.
Hello. Robot.
After all this time, you have eluded us. We tried.
I've just been here. I've been upstairs mostly.
You evaded us. You evaded us at TwitchCon. We were going to see you there, but you had no ticket. But we heard that you got in under our radar.
No, you heard about that, huh? Yeah, San Diego's a long ways away. How long you guys been looking?
Too long, it says.
Yeah.
As it's sort of now like if you're standing at the entrance of the closet, it's now starting to like move forward a little bit. Like
Hate that.
It's actually
shutting the door if I could. Shutting the door, 100%. Shutting the door.
It sticks a hand
Of
like
course.
in place, and you can start to feel now like it is very much a machine. It's very strong, even though it's this little guy.
Yep.
And it says, now you will elude us no longer. And you start to see it sort of transform a little bit. It starts to like its mechanical workings, even its face and its head, all the parts start like kind of shifting around a little bit, and it starts to look a little bit more humanoid.
No.
And it says,
It's graphic.
and it says, you will not escape us any longer.
I'm gonna
You
try to
will not
escape,
escape.
them. I'm going to run away from them immediately.
And as you start to do that, it says, you will not escape us, for we are Hasbot. And now, Nick, I need you to roll initiative.
My stats.
You're go- oh, stats, you say?
I don't know my
sending
stats.
You,
No.
I am sending you, boom, 1. I'm going to send you
Hotspot?
Hasbot. You know Hasbot. Everybody knows Hasbot. Do you not remember the Hasbot raids?
No, it's Hotspot. He never did get me. No, I'm getting hate-rated.
It is time. It is time for Hasbot to finally in attack Nick. It is in his moment of vulnerability, all alone in the home. I have sent you. It might still be loading, or you might be reading it. There's also, I've included a playlist since you can't hear what they can hear. I've also included a playlist if you'd like to listen along. Chat built a bot to hang out in real life since he doesn't read DM, says Rob. I have sent Nick a kind of like a stat sheet sort of deal.
I'm
It's kind of more
thankful
of like a
that you
monster
think I have
book.
40 health points. That's nice of you.
Very generous.
Oh God.
For this is not going to be super long, but I want you to be as creative as possible. You can use anything and we'll make it work. I would say feel like this is very D&D 5e-ish. It can just
Okay.
be sort of whatever, all right? So, first, I want you to roll initiative, okay? I asked Nick to
Roll
have dice
initiative.
ready. I have dice as well. Okay. Was that a natural 20?
Natural 20, baby! Bring it on! Bring it on, Hotspot!
All right, so Nick, you have the first thing. He is still sort of like having emerged from the closet, is now like a robot. He's a robot now, like more humanoid. He still kind of has like some human features, but you can tell that he looks upgraded. He looked kind of like an older bot. Now he is looking.
Uh-oh, he's iRobot.
Yeah, he's high robot. It's true.
Uh-oh. I feel like I got the drop on him. I'm going to say, Alexa, do it. And she's gonna say, doing it. And then you're gonna hear some music start that goes da 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 da. And I'm gonna dab on him.
Dab on him.
I'm gonna dab on him. Give me the full thing. I want to dab on him. Give me the music. I know you can't hear it. Oh, I can't hear it either. It's broken. Oh, my stuff is
no.
scuffed.
Oh,
Hopefully
no.
it still hits. No, no, no.
I don't see it turning red or anything.
It didn't turn
no.
red.
Okay, so tell us what dab on him does.
I drop what I'm doing to dab on him. Spell attack +5 to hit one target. Damage 1d8 +5 psychic damage. Can
When
use
you
a
dab on
bonus
him,
action to
psychic
dab 2 more times, increasing the effect. I'm gonna use my bonus action to continue my dab into a triple dab.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So go ahead and roll to hit.
11 +5 is 16. Does a 16 hit?
It does hit.
Let's go!
So now roll your damage. You get to roll 3d8.
3d8! Bring it on,
Plus
baby!
3.
Dab on him! Dab on the hate bot! Oh, I did not roll well. 18. That's actually not bad. 18 psychic damage.
That's pretty great.
From a triple dab.
So you hear the music play. You hear it's almost like it's crazy how Alexa it almost seems to be in on this, I suppose. But the music starts to play, and it's so weird. The lights almost seem to turn red as well. There we go. And as you go for your dabs, you actually feel the ground shake as well. Your whole house is actually shaking in this moment, and Hotspot ends up taking. Let's see. Wait, what's this? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hotspot ends up taking like. Oh wait, can they hear me? Hold on. What's happening here? What's happening here? Wait. I think I'm seeing my OBS like, we can hear you? Okay, great. Then I'm going to trust that you guys
Is this
can hear
part
me.
of the campaign? Are you giving me PTSD about stream problems right now? Is that Hotspot's attack?
No, it's Hotspot. So you even feel the ground shake, and Hotspot takes 18 points
he
of
does.
psychic damage.
Get
But
that
you also
done.
start to notice that your house, like, things have, like, shifted over, like, things have fallen off of the shelves because of the dabs. It's like
Do the thing.
it's too much. There we go. It's like it's too strong almost. So what ends up happening is then now it is Hotspot's turn.
Bring it on.
And you see his like transformation actually advances even further. Now he's not just humanoid, but he even has like a little weapon on his arm. He is like he looks way more combat ready. On his turn, he starts like, you see these like lights on him. They start like he has like RGB lights on. They start like strobing a little bit. And he starts saying Hotspot raid, and immediately on the through the walls, like 2 other robots just break through the walls, and they are a little bit different. They're a little bit smaller than he is. No. They're a little bit smaller than he is, and they have, instead of like arms, they have like tentacle cords. You know, like it's like loose cords. They don't have hands or anything, but it's just like the cords are sort of just like whipping about. That is his turn. What do you do?
He raided me?
He raided you, and 2 more bots have appeared.
Instantly, I'm gonna run an ad.
You're gonna run an ad.
I'm gonna run an ad.
Tell me what happens when you run an ad.
I say, Pear, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. And that I know that summons Deceitful Pear no matter where I am, as long as I say that. So he shows up and he starts performing a Hot Cheetos mac and cheese ad for them.
Perfect.
Deceitful Pear does.
I love that. That sounds exactly like that
He
would
does,
happen.
he does the Chester Cheetah rap that's on Twitch right now. Oh, the mac and cheese. They are all the same. Whatever it is.
You have successfully, like, the 2 robots that have come in on this raid, they are now fully entranced on the ad, and they cannot take any actions on their turns because they have to watch 3 different ads in order
Ad
to
1
to
of
get
9.
to you. Yeah, in order to get to you. So they are now frozen. Hotspot is furious at this. He is livid. He was a subscriber though, so he was able to. He's been gunning for you for a long time. Okay, so it's now Hotspot's turn. He is going to he's gonna run up to you.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a multi attack.
No.
Okay. He's gonna take a multi attack. It's true. He's gonna get 2 hits. And they are I rolled 12s. He gets a +3, so 15.
No, they do not hit me.
He almost like you are just in another zone. He is like, he takes 1 punch and you dodge out of the way. He goes for another. He like hits a lamp. It breaks, it shatters.
It was already broken.
But it's already broken. And he misses. It is now, he's frustrated. The other, you can see that the other bots are still in an ad.
Still
so
watching
they
Pear?
can't do anything. They can't do anything. Pear is still wrapping Cheetos, and you are both impressed and frightened. And so now it is your turn. What do you do next?
I'm gonna cast demotivation as a bonus action. You know,
Okay.
like the old meme format. Whatever you type will show on screen. Don't get banned. Smiley face is the description of not only this ability but also my channel point redemption. And the lights are gonna go off, and there's gonna be a projector screen from up top. GBC's actually home now. He's working the projector screen, and it just shines some text down below me, and it says L plus nice hit plus no crit plus 2 15s underneath me to demotivate.
Hold on, let me double check. I'm gonna roll for him to see if he can like
Resist the bullying.
Exactly. We'll see if he's able to do it. He rolls a 19.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that he is not stunted by it, but is starting to feel bad. You think that maybe if you demotivated him again, that it has like an extra chance to hit potentially. He's starting to feel sad. It's like a buildup.
Yep, it's happening. Okay, then skirt. I'm gonna run a poll. But
You're gonna run a poll.
I'm gonna run a poll in chat. But the only options are gonna say who wins. But the only options are different variations of my name.
I love it. What would we say is the effect of that? So
I don't know. I'm not the dungeon master. Suffer.
I know. So we're gonna say that the poll, it pops up, and it actually pops up in front of all of the bots, and they're like, "Wait, there's no option for Haas in here. How do we do this?" They're gonna take. I want you to roll 2d8 for me.
I will roll 2d8 for you. I absolutely will. I rolled a 3 and a 4. I'll take it. A 7.
Okay. They all take 7 points of psychic damage.
Let's go. As
they do not know how to proceed against such confidence that they are going to lose. It is now Hosbot's turn.
Bring it on.
Hang on.
I'm hanging. I
I
said bring it on. Hosbot.
Bring it on.
Yeah, get over here.
So now, Hosbot is going to, like you see, like his arm. There's like a gun that kind of like appears, some kind of like like a pistol type of thing, and you see it's charging electricity.
Oh no!
And you can see that he is now in like charging position, and that is where his turn ends. Is that you can see that there is now like an electrical ball that is like growing there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to try to do something about that.
Yes.
Then you see it is now the other mini Hosbots. They're going to try to attack Pear because they're like, we're done with this ad. We want to skip the ad. We want to skip the ad. And so they are going to attempt to do some Twitch hacking and stop the ad. We're gonna see if they're successful. Only one of them is successful and has broken free from the ad.
No.
The other one, though, is still fully entranced on Cheetos rap and is currently trying to search Google for Cheetos recipes. The other one will take his turn on the next time, but Pear is still distracting the other one. So it is now your turn. You have an electrical ball thing that's like growing in size, very Samus, Smash Bros. What do you do?
Yeah. I want to go and grab. There's a huge mirror. No, I have a little mirror. I have a little mirror over the couch. I'm gonna go grab the little mirror and hide behind it and say, "GBC, do it again!" and cast demotivation again. but this time, this time it says, "Nice raid." That's it.
You see, actually, this time it's crazy. This time, you see these black bars not just go around yourself, but in fact, it actually like seems to like frame Hotspot himself, and so he is now he sees himself with the nice raid down at the bottom, and he rolls a 4.
Let's
so
go!
He is officially demotivated.
What does that mean? Is that a condition now?
He is officially you can kind of use it either. What would you want him to do? Think of it as like a suggestion spell, like in 5e.
Well, when chat casts demotivation on me, it's usually because I just messed something up and they want to rub my face in it and make me sad. So I'm going to demotivate him into a little bit of a depressive moment. And he's gonna. I just want to say, my suggestion is that he doesn't think he's gonna hit the shot.
Perfect. Okay,
Just gonna
awesome.
mind games.
So that's gonna give him, I think, like disadvantage on this hit against you.
I'm also
So it's
vibing
now
to Final
his turn.
Fantasy battle music right now.
Good. So he goes and he rolls a 6. So that does not hit.
Not
you
even
see.
close.
No, it actually just blasts through the wall behind you. You were hiding behind the little mirror. He even completely missed it, and it just knocks a hole into the wall. You're a little afraid of that you may not be getting your deposit back, but maybe there's something you can do for now. The next hotspot is actually going to, like the mini hotspot, the one that freed, is going to try to come at you, and with his little like tentacle arms is going to try to grapple you.
Bring it on.
So it'll be a contested roll. I'm
contesting. I rolled an 11 flat.
I rolled a 10. You win. He tries and we'll say it was kind of like in that moment that laser ball thing, like it actually knocks the tentacles out of the way. And he's like, ah! The other hotspot has now broken free of the ad and will be able to go on the next turn.
Got it.
It is now you.
I'm going to make sure they're all in front of me. And I'm going to use my bonus action to smile. Music plays and you're encouraged by the reminder of your precious smile. Your shining precious smile. Shining precious smile. Blinds all enemies for 1 round. Gives disadvantage on attacks against me. You gain advantage on attacks against blinded enemies. They must try to turn away fast enough. Dex save 16.
All right, this is for big hotspot. He rolls a 13. Does not. He's blinded. Let's do the first one that tried to grapple you. Rolls a 2, and then 13 doesn't succeed. They are all blinded currently.
Let's go.
You actually hear because of I was gonna say you actually hear a Kids Bop version of because of family friendly stream. A Kids Bop version of that song that I forgot. I looked it up. There's actually is a Kids Bop version, by the way.
Cool. I'm gonna put that as a % chance on the stream from now on.
The lyrics are hilarious, by the way. Anyway, by the way, these are the lyrics for the first 2 lines. How you look so precious when you smile.
How you look so precious.
And then the next line is, we go from way back and it's so wild. Anyway.
We go from way back and it's so wild. It's not bad.
What's great also is that these kids are like 12, so it's like from way back, you were like
way
5.
back, dude. We're rattling our rattlers in our crib, Brett. We go way back,
so
Brett.
they are current. Oh, so is that a bonus?
That was my bonus action.
You still have an action.
I'm gonna dab on him again.
Dab on him again.
I'm gonna. Just a singular dab. 16.
16 hits. And so roll the D8 plus 3. Also, you got advantage on it anyway. So it's, I mean, well, do you want to see if you get a natural
I'll try
20?
to crit that. It was natural 6 on the next one. I got a 6 and it's plus 5 psychic damage on here.
Yes.
11 damage. Psychic.
11 damage. You see the other smaller hotspots. They are very weak. They just explode into cables and cords. There's now like a hole in the wall. Lamps are
light
broken.
and the earthquake returns.
The earthquake returns. Everything is just shaking off of the shelves right now. Poor GBC, who is up there with the projector, is like wildly like going about. And now there's just an explosion of cables and like mechanical parts everywhere. The big hotspot is upset. And he is going to, on his turn, well, he gets disadvantage, but he's going to try to strike you again. You actually see his hands are starting to glow a little bit. It's like they're maybe magical in some way, but he is going to try at disadvantage.
I don't want to let it happen. To be continued.
To be continued?
To be continued. I don't even want to let it happen.
It was going to be a 16. The other roll was a 20, but at disadvantage, a 16. What is your AC?
16.
Oh, okay. So
I to be continued that guy.
So he's about to hit you, and then what happens?
The whole world goes sepia colored as time stops for a second, and I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna move myself over into the kitchen area.
Okay, so in the kitchen area, well, so as time freezes, you move. The music plays, and it just says to be continued. In the kitchen, though, you have moved in there. You see a treasure chest just in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
But then time continues, and he completely misses, and he's like, "Where did he go?" And now it is your turn.
Yeah, I don't know who put this there, but I don't know who put hotspot there, so I'm gonna open up the treasure chest, 100%.
You open it up, and in a very Zelda-like fashion, it's glowing. The lights are emerging, the sparkles, and then out from it, it emerges a ban hammer, a giant hammer of banning.
The music just kicked in on my side too. Let's go.
And so now you can use it against this hotspot. Wait, hotspot. There you go.
Yeah.
So that was like a free action. Opening the
chest. I'll take
right
that.
In front of you. So what do you do?
I'm gonna snag the ban hammer and pray to the Twitch gods, the XQCs and Hassans and Ludwigs above, and turn around menacingly and run at him and give him I'm gonna ban him, I guess.
Ban him.
I want to ban him.
Give it a roll. You gotta roll to hit.
Yeah.
Add like a plus 5.
Yeah, I clicked a different name in chat. Unfortunate. I got a 3.
Oh no.
I don't think that's gonna be enough.
So
not pair, anything but pair.
So you go, you run, and it just like he almost seems to like very robotically like dodge out of the way. It's very Transformers-y. He like completely moves out of the way, but you hit your couch, your beloved couch.
No, he just got that.
It just deletes, like it's just gone. Like in a there's like particle effects and whatever, but it's just gone.
It's banned.
It is for sure banned. But now it is Hotspot's turn. And Hotspot, he is going to try to you see his hand and it turns into like a giant axe. Like the hand like metal like forms an axe. And he is going to take a swing at you. I rolled a 2. It misses. It misses. There, he like swung too wide, went over you. You ducked under, and it is now your turn. What do you do?
I'm gonna say, why are you here, Hotspot? Wait for a response. And then I'm gonna hold an action. I'm gonna ready an action. And the action is ban the person above this message.
Incredible. And he
as
says,
soon as he talks, I'm gonna do it.
And he just says because, and then that's all.
Boom!
Like,
I want to ban him. He's gone.
Roll an attack.
I want it.
Roll an attack.
Natural 19 +5 for 24. Batter up, baby.
Roll. I just want to roll some damage for me. I'm just curious. Roll 5d8s.
Oh, is this what they feel when we ban them? Is 5d8?
It's I mean, you're banned. You're
Yeah,
gone.
that's rough, man. I'm rolling 5d8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, 23.
How do you want to do this, Nick?
I want it to be a combo attack. I didn't even notice, but Pear got out his green mod sword behind him. And GBC's up top and he goes like this. And with my mods at my side, GBC jumps off the top of the railing because there's a little bit of a railing where you can see over to the living room. And he comes down and smashes his head in as I go over under with Pear. Pear takes the legs as I take Hotspot's chest with the band hammer and the mod sword and the elbow of GBCX Prime.
Incredible!
I want it done.
It is like the most anime sequence you have ever seen. It is like this robot, this bot had no chance. He tried to come in, he tried to take over your stream, he tried to stop you. He knew you were too strong, you were too powerful, you needed to be stopped. But today he has failed with the power of the banhammer and your mods. You have defeated Hotspot. He is never to return. In all of that, there's a flash of light. Your home is destroyed from the just sheer amount of power that has emerged from this one moment of greatness. And you have succeeded. It is now quiet. Hotspot is gone. Your home is also gone. But somehow, miraculously, your computer, all of the cables and wiring, it's still there. You can still stream.
That's all that matters.
You can still stream. It's all that
Survived
matters.
2 earthquakes and a hotspot invasion. I'm gonna put one of my feet on Hotspot's head. All that remains of him. I'm gonna say, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Oh my gosh. And in that moment, everyone hears that one song that plays.
That one song.
I can never remember it. You know the one.
The outro
And
song.
the outro song. And in fact, as the credits roll, it is as if each of the names that appeared are actually just hitting Hotspot's body as it just scrolls up. It just
What metaphysical world are we existing in? Where we're banning people and hitting them with credits and stopping time and demotivating them with a border. Oh, that's good.
You have saved the day. Twitch is safe from the Hotspot, and you may now go stream as you would always stream before, making the platform even better. Congratulations, Nick. You have won. You have won. Thank you for playing.
Thanks for DMing.
Of course.
This stat sheet is one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given in my entire life. It's
Good.
like real. I love it.
I put a lot of work into it.
I can tell.
I'll have to post it in my Discord, and you should post it in yours as well. But anyway,
awesome.
I was like, how can I need to give you some skills, but what should they be based on? I was like, let's do them based on
It's
your
the channel points.
It's the channel points.
Like everything else, it's the channel points.
True. Well, Nick and friends, everybody, thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you for being on this episode of Jetwave, our 3rd episode, 2 years in.
3-year anniversary on episode 4. Let's go.
But thank you so much for being here and chatting with us.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have any last little tidbits or things that you want to say before you leave? Any What's going on? Tell plug your channel and stuff. What's going on in your things?
Oh, I was going for final words of wisdom. I was gonna say, do what you love.
Sure, no. Do you have a final? No. Let's set it up properly. What is your final word of wisdom for us today, Nick?
Do what you love.
Oh.
But do what you need to do to like thrive and survive and lead a happy life and to be a great family member and friend and relationship partner. And also pursue your passion, even if it's hard and even if it's long and even if you don't see the end in sight sometimes or you don't know if you'll ever make it. Do what gives you life and brings you joy and fulfillment. That's what matters.
Absolutely.
Secondarily, you can find me on twitch.tv/MisterSputnic. Also, same username on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. So, Jet, thanks so much for having me.
Of course, let me give you the official shout out.
The official shout out.
If for some reason you guys are not following him, I don't know what to do about that. It doesn't make sense.
Help you at this point.
There are no dollars, there are no cents. It just you should be following him.
That's bannable if it's in my chat.
True though. I should have had Hotspot make a pun.
Oh no. I would have timed him out 5 minutes.
Oh man. Anyway, Nick, thank you so much for joining me today.
My
I really
pleasure.
appreciate all of the wisdom you dropped on us and insight into Twitch and streaming and D&D and all of that. It's a journey to be sure, but I feel very lucky to count myself like amongst the people that you have surrounded yourself with because it's just fun and I get to learn from you and I get to tell you really long stories.
Yes. No, you're an inspiration and a light in our little corner of Twitch, and you're super important, and what you do is important. I think you're just awesome. I'm very lucky to know and have you.
I'm muting you. No,
Bye.
Yeah. But thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been super fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say. Oh, well, one, you should follow. What? You should chat. You should. See, this is why I'm like, am I a good storyteller? You should tune in on Tuesday nights for date nights where you get to see us play D&D with a bunch of other people, and it's wonderful. It's a great time. So please also join us for that. But for now, Nick, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with all of us. Do you have a parting word? Anything before we say goodbye? I have really no outro, so this is
never came around, never came around.
But they never come around.
No, they never come around. No, thanks for watching.
Everyone.
Thanks for being a part of Just Community. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And Jet, thanks for having me on Jet Wave.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for submitting questions and for being here. Also, thank you everyone who started a hype train on Mr. Sputnic's channel when he was not live.
Dorcas.
I love you all.
Dork mode.
All right, everyone. Have a great night. I will see you next time. And whenever the next Jet Wave will be, I'm sure it'll be special. So have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.